EAGLES. Eagles.
Welcome in, everybody, to the JAKIB Postgame Show. A massive win for the Philadelphia Eagles, 37-20, and they did it on the back of Saquon Barkley, who had over 300 yards from scrimmage in this game. What an unbelievable performance. Big Sil said before this show started, and I'll let him clarify, maybe one of the best performances he's ever seen in a game. How about that? Saquon Barkley. Sills, I'm going to say it right at the open, and we'll be joined by John McMullen in a second. We'll be joined, obviously, I have Dan Sileo here. He's the best running back in the NFL by a country mile right now. Saquon Barkley, 255 on the ground today, another 47 rushing, good for 302 yards total. Big Sills, Birds went 37-20 and moved to 9-2 on the year, my friend.
No doubt. He's having the best year of any running back this year. I'm still taking Henry, but this year, I mean, dude, the story was really the two lines of the Eagles, the D-line and the O-line. I mean, he was getting holes that were so gaping and wide open. They were 4 yards into the secondary when you were talking about people hitting him. The dominant performance by both lines, the defensive line. I mean, Milton Williams was insane tonight, along with Brandon Graham and everyone. I mean, and then you combine that with Barkley's great talent, man. I'm telling you what, unbelievable performance. There's no question. The stars of that football game, A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, and that defense, man, they did one whale of a job in that football game. Boy, I got to tell you, man, I'm going to say it one more time to you, Zander. The story of that game was both lines. The offensive line, but the first touching of the old line, when it came to Barkley, they were 4 yards deep. What a tremendous performance by both lines. I'll say it again, man. I mean, as much as I say he's a great talent, the dominant performance was what you saw with the pressure they put on Stafford and the pressure they put on the Rams defense. They just could not stop Saquon Barkley, and that had a lot to do with the offensive line performance.
Joined now by John McMullen. John, 37-20, and Saquon Barkley goes for over 300 yards. He had 30 total touches, 302 total yards with 2 touchdowns. What's your reaction, John McMullen?
Yeah, that is the 9th most yards from scrimmage in a game in NFL history, and the most by anyone in 9 years. You got to go back to Antonio Brown in 2015. Yeah, spectacular performance. But Dan's right, man. This offensive line, and we talked about it in the pregame show, and I was crowing about it. They were going to out-physical this undersized defensive front, and that's exactly what they did. And then the defensive front also dominated the game pretty much from pressuring Matthew Stafford. Some nice things. You could see the arm talent. You could see, Puka Nacua, nice player. Cooper Kupp, we all know, a little bit down the field for the Rams when they got time. But boy, this is how Howie builds this team. He said that's how we roll, build on the offensive, defensive fronts, and they dominated today. This was a performance. This was their best performance of the season. They dominated this team. We talked at halftime. It really wasn't that close. They just shot themselves in the foot a couple times. Should have been up 2 scores by that point. And they just completely. I had the feeling at halftime they were going to completely down. It took one play, and Saquon went 70 yards, and then he went 72. Franchise record. Eagles have only been around for 92 years, I believe. So that's the franchise record, 255. Adrian Peterson, the all-time record, 296. So who knows? Get one more carry, he might have went for 70 again. Yeah, they just dismantled that Rams front. Dismantled it. For all the talk about Jared Verse and
handle them.
Yeah, They just, And it's not a surprise. I mean, the Eagles' offensive line is so physical, and they completely dominated the game.
No doubt. And
Absolutely.
Saquon Barkley's he's the best player in the league right now. I don't care
Yeah.
who says anything. That dude is playing like a man on a mission. I mean, it's unbelievable to watch right now. 300 plus yards in the game. John, what'd you say it was? 9th most in NFL history?
9th most in NFL history. Yeah, I'm not going to get in that argument. He's not the best player on the team, never mind best player in the league. But he's
having the best player on the team.
Oh, no,
yeah.
AJ Brown's the best.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown was last tonight.
Even Saquon would tell you that.
AJ Brown was a force tonight, and they could not stop it, which kept everything wide open. The two dominant things on that team tonight were clearly the O-line, and they could not have an answer for what.
I don't want to get. I don't want to get in this. Saquon's great. Saquon's great.
John, I don't want to dismiss what Saquon did tonight.
Neither do I.
I don't want.
But I mean, this is the.
Let's not get crazy.
Yes, he's the guy.
Crazy? What do you mean get crazy, Sills? 300 plus yards in a game, 255 on the ground.
I just said, if anybody thinks that Barkley's better than Brown as a talent, you're nuts.
I think Saquon Barkley's the best player in the league.
Okay. I guarantee you he finishes out of the top 10 in MVP votes this year.
No, that's not going to happen.
Well,
he's got a legit shot.
It's a quarterback award, and he'll have no shot.
Well, by a lot, and that tells you the kind of season Saquon's having because he's in the conversation. And you're right; it's a quarterback award. You got to have a historic season.
Now, John, if he gets $2,000, John, if he gets 2105 and goes by Eric Dickerson's number of 2105, then we're having a conversation.
Well, to even be in the conversation in this era of football is a tremendous accomplishment, and he's in the conversation.
Right. And I'm not dismissing him at all because it was tremendous tonight.
But to Zander's point, look, the splash and come on. There's Penei Sewell. There's Lane Johnson on this team. There's AJ Brown. The quarterbacks in this league, the impact, Patrick Mahomes. Come on, stop.
John, is this
we don't have to go.
I'll never get the votes, but it's listen again. I don't want to go there because it was incredible.
Oh, we went there. Oh, we're there, folks.
Okay,
Big Sills, we went there.
Okay, there's a.
You went there. We didn't go there.
Hey, do you know how many people that have gained 2,000 yards in this league and weren't even in the top 3 when it came to MVP voting? Almost all of them.
Not many, because not many, because only 3-4 guys.
Peterson's the last guy to win that. But again, Terrell Davis and all them guys. I mean,
no, Adrian Peterson won it when I covered him. He won the MVP. He's the last running back to win MVP. The year, and he's still the best runner I've ever seen. But that was a different era. It's really hard. Saquon deserves all the credit. It's really hard to even be in the conversation. And right now, guess what? If the season ended tonight, the Zanders of the world would win. He would be the MVP.
He might win it. I mean, Jamal Lewis had over 2,000 rushing yards, and he wasn't even in the top 7. Now, again, John, like you said, that's a different era now. So I don't know how people would look at that, especially with today's voters.
Yeah, but they're in love with stats, and the stats are great right now. Yeah. So I mean, he's having a great season.
Right,
he's having a great season. I'm just saying, come on, he's not the best player in the league. He might be having the best season.
For north of 2,000 rushing yards right now. Guys.
He might even be having the best season, but come on, you got to know the difference. That's a Jody argument. Come on, you got to know the difference.
No.
Okay,
I'm not going to let you box me into any fucking corner on what that dude is putting the league on fire right now. He just had a 300+ yard game. Everybody's asking me, is it a 2-jersey week, a 2-jersey giveaway week? Well, I didn't want to do it because the rules are the rules. I might be doing 2 jerseys, especially after this. He's the best player on the Eagles. He is the best player on the Eagles.
Zander, in the history of the league, on people gaining 2,000 yards, only 2 people have ever won the most valuable player award.
So I
Him
don't give a
winning
shit
it,
about the
well,
MVP.
him winning
Why are
it-
you stuck on the MVP?
Him winning it will be impossible.
Why are you stuck on the MVP?
I don't
Who cares?
agree. I don't even agree with that. But I disagree with Dan saying he can't win the MVP. I think he can win the MVP. Now, I still think the odds are against him, but I think he can win the MVP if he continues to perform at this level. And I'm not talking about tonight. I'm talking in general, because you can't run for 255 every week. But in general, if he keeps performing at the level he's performing at, he's going to be in the top 5. He's
Hey,
going to
John,
be in the
think of this.
conversation.
If you're the Giants,
But to Zander's point, no, he's not the fucking best player in the league. Stop it.
hey,
Stop.
John, can you
John, let me
imagine
guess.
this?
Wait, let me guess. Christian McCaffrey's better than Saquon, and Derrick Henry's better than
No,
Saquon.
he's had a
and
better
AJ
career.
Brown.
No,
Saquon
he's had
is
a better
proven
career.
better than all of them.
Dude,
All of them.
McCaffrey's had a superior career to Barkley.
McCaffrey's
Come
not
on.
better than Saquon Barkley.
But
He's had a
McCaffrey's been
better
hurt all
career.
year.
No question. Okay, 100 receiving yards.
McCaffrey can't
100
even
receiving
sniff
yards.
his jock strap right
Are
now.
you crazy? You really think that Barkley's had a better career than McCaffrey?
He's just playing it.
Are you out of
He's
your
playing.
mind?
He's playing a character now. He's kissing up.
Yeah, I'm
You're
playing
out of your
I'm
mind.
playing
McCaffrey.
This dude is setting NFL records for
Okay.
being on this team, and you guys are delegitimizing it in a major way.
No.
What?
no.
I didn't
You're
delegitimize
angry.
anything. The
No,
only
you're
thing
angry
I'm
with
the only
conversation there.
thing I just said, he had a phenomenal game. I'm the one who told you, set the franchise record, 9th most scrimmage yards. I'm giving you all the information. The only thing I'm delegitimizing is the fraud of kissing up to the fan base. That's it.
Oh, shit. You think
That's
that guy is better? That guy is better than Josh Allen or Mahomes or any of them guys? You're out of your tree.
I think he's better than AJ Brown, that's for sure.
I don't.
Good for you.
Until
Saquon's
AJ goes
Hey,
off.
Saquon's been a way
Good for
bigger
you.
impact on this football team.
Good for you. Okay. Oh, whatever that means.
They can't win a goddamn game without AJ Brown. Who's had the bigger impact?
No doubt.
They can't win a game without AJ Brown.
Oh my God!
They won
You
one.
two are
Shit.
gonna drive
I'm
me
with you,
nuts.
John. I don't know what this is about, but go ahead.
All right, John, I'm coming to you. Next question here. What's your other takeaways on this game outside of Saquon Barkley? Because we'll be on that all night based on the way you guys are talking about it. What else did you see out there, Johnny Mac, tonight?
I saw exactly what I said would happen in the pregame show. Out physicaling. You know, everybody's concerned about the undersized. Oh, they're so athletic. They're so. You got monsters on the offensive front who beat them to death, basically. And then the defensive front, concerning though, Brandon Graham, who had a phenomenal game.
My God.
At 36 years old.
Unreal.
And then he left with an elbow injury. So that's a concern because remember, you're already down one edge rusher. So you can't afford to lose another. Josh Sweat got hurt as well, but he was able to come back. So that was positive. But the game was won on 3rd down.
Yeah.
The Eagles were 9 of 15 on 3rd down. So many times, by the way, because everybody's going to focus on Saquon, rightfully so. You know, Jalen Hurts converted so many with 3rd and 5. He's getting 5.5 yards. Just, you know, every time the lack of discipline on the Rams pass rush, mainly again because they're getting pushed around. So
John,
guys
they
are
couldn't
pushing
set
them
the
inside,
edge.
pushing them outside.
They couldn't set the edge on 3rd down.
Can't do it. 9 of 15 on 3rd down. Meanwhile, the Rams were 0 of 8 on 3rd downs. And speaking of, I'm going to make this fraud night because I think Zander's kissing up to the fan base. But the second fraud is Sean McVay. That guy's a freaking fraud, at least when it comes to Vic Fangio, at least when it comes to a defensive coordinator who understands what he's trying to do. He's a one-trick pony, and Vic figured him out 6-7 years ago, whatever it was, and it hasn't stopped. It hasn't
John, you
stopped.
keep taking shots that I'm kissing up to the fan. You know who I think you're kissing up to? I think you're kissing up to August John McMullen, who told me Christian McCaffrey's way better. Saquon Barkley won't have that much of an impact on this football team. He's not all that great. He's a good not great player, I think you're kissing up the previous version of yourself. So I don't give a shit who I'm kissing up to. I
No,
just want
I got him upset.
in a game,
I got him
John,
upset. Oh, I got him upset. Here's the deal. You're lying again because I'm the one who said he'd have 1,600 to 1,700 total yards.
Did you say he's a good, not great player? Did you say he's a good, not great player?
He was a good but not great player in New York.
God,
you
guys can't look in the mirror.
Are you
and
fucking
you are
crazy?
blatantly wrong about this player. I can't help you.
Am I lying,
bro? You're way off your rocker. If you think that guy was good in New York, he was okay.
He wasn't good in New York. Oh, what an indictment on the player that is.
Well, that's who he is.
What is this? What is this even turning into? You can't look in this camera and say, I didn't say this player would have more yards than you.
Unbelievable.
I mean, give me a fucking break.
Oh shit.
What is that bullshit?
I have no idea where
Did I think he would have this?
I have no fucking idea.
Did I think he would have this kind of impact? Absolutely not. I have no problem admitting that. But I was ahead of you.
Yeah, really. Like everyone saw 2,000 rushing yards. Sure, Xander. You should have put the money down on it too, and all the super chats on it.
Big Sills, you're still in tears over there. That we're 9-2. Jalen keeps playing efficient football.
That's
no turnovers going on right now, and we look like a Super Bowl contender. And you've been dead wrong all season long.
That's what I am.
By the way, they are a Super Bowl contender.
Oh, they're easily a Super Bowl contender. I mean, when you can out-physical any team you go up against, you're a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, that's the reason why they're a Super Bowl contender, because of their offensive line and their defensive front. Like always, that's what the Philadelphia Eagles are built upon.
Right.
They just happen to have a better running back, so they've gotten even better when it comes to closing games.
More skilled at the back position, absolutely.
Second half of games, but remember, this team was 10-1 last year. At this point. If you go back to 2020, I believe they were also 10-1. This is not new. This team's been that way. They're even better because Saquon Barkley's better than Miles Sanders. He's better than DeAndre Swift. Now we can see, and by the way, there were some positive points to the passing game as well. Just A.J. Brown, mainly not anybody else, but hey, if that's all you need, if it's Barkley and Brown and Jalen Hurts converting on third downs and you can get there, we're going to learn a lot about this team next week against Baltimore, because that's a physical team. They're not going to be able to out-physical Baltimore. They might beat them, but Baltimore's the kind of team that can stand up to them. The Rams are not that.
Big Sales, let me come to you. Jalen Hurts was 15 of 22 tonight, 179, a touchdown, 1 sack, 12 yards. What'd you make of him tonight?
Kind of what I said, 153, right around in there, and I thought he'd get 65 yards. I thought some of the things that he did, especially on third down, breaking their back when they couldn't contain him. Every single time they needed a big play to get out of that third and long, it wasn't really in the passing game. It was more with his wheels. Those third downs, man, they break a back of a defensive football team. I mean, look, when you have a dual threat like that at running back and at quarterback that are going to be able to not set the edge like the Rams couldn't do, there is no question that when they got in especially when they got in pass rush situations, I saw Jordan Mailata put on his back at least 3 times tonight when they were able to get in pass rush. They got out of that, they ran the football, and they ran it right down their throats. And there's no question that they are better running the team, obviously, over 300 some odd yards rushing. And I'll say this to you too, John, on the other side, I can't remember the last team that went for over 300 yards against the Eagle defense. The MVP of that team, you can say all you want about Barkley, but the MVP of that team might be the defensive coordinator. He is absolutely just incredible in what he's doing. He's rejuvenating.
By the way,
Nakobe Dean is playing his ass off right now. Brandon Graham is kicking the shit out of people.
I got to break in real quick. Some bad news. Brandon Graham just confirmed he is done for the season.
Oh my
way.
God.
torn triceps. So that puts and what a game, by the way.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
man.
That is
Yeah.
awful news.
Yeah, tore his triceps. And this is it for Brandon, unless he wants to come back and use the injury. That's a shame. Boy, he was playing so
man.
great.
He was all over the field.
Yeah, but and from a larger perspective, just from a team perspective, hey, I feel for Brandon Graham. He's probably the best.
Well, you know what?
person.
Let me put a silver lining on that. If that was Brandon Graham's last game, what a great way to go out, because he absolutely wrecked that team tonight. He was getting around. He looked like a 25-year-old edge rusher, guys. He was getting around the edge like there were like he was 25. He was cooking on the outside. Man, that sucks.
That's so
PG.
sucks, man.
Did he say that at his press conference, Sean, or did he report that? What happened there?
Yeah, he said it himself. So he's done. You could see, by the way. I don't know if they showed it a little bit on broadcast. I don't know if anybody, but when he was sitting there, you could see the dejection on his face. I knew something was up. And they declared him out with I believe they defined it as an elbow injury at the time. But
John, that limits him now, though. Now the Eagles now.
Well, yeah. Remember that Bryce Huff is already out. People say they don't care about Bryce Huff, but he was giving them snaps. Now they're down to Josh Sweat. Nolan Smith becomes a starter, and Jelix Hunt is your top backup. You talk about things that could derail this season. You saw how dominating that front was today with Brandon Graham. All of a sudden, you're very, very light on the edge.
Yeah.
As far as depth goes, at a rotational position where you need guys in waves, that's a big injury. That is a big injury. Well, and there's not much to complain about in this game.
Right.
I mean, that happens in football, obviously, but yeah, that's tough. I just wrote on Sports Illustrated the one position they can't afford, because you can't afford multiple injuries at the same position, and bang, they get multiple injuries at the same position.
You know what's going to happen there, John? Because I noticed when they had some injury there tonight and Sweat went out late in the game, they were lining Zach Bond up on the edge. You think they could rotate some of those guys? And
like that idea.
I mean, you don't want to take Zach Bond out of the middle linebacker. Don't get me wrong.
Like the idea.
But they got to do something. I mean, you got to get pressure from the edge, and it's too late in the year now to make a trade or to go. I mean, who's out there? I don't think many people are out there right now.
Well, the trade deadline's passed. You can't trade for anybody.
Obviously,
there's guys you can pick up off the street, but they're not going to help you much. They brought in edge rusher last week on the practice squad, O'Shawn Mathis. Maybe he gets elevated to the 53. Teron Jackson's back. Jelix Hunt's going to have to hit the ground running. If I'm thinking about Vic and the way he thinks, he might kick Milton Williams out to more edge rusher snaps. Milton had a big game today.
Sacks. I thought he had 3, but 2 sacks. He was all over the place.
He was.
Hey, John, that arm over by Jalen Carter tonight, where he whipped that guy in front of him, was Jerome Brown-esque. He was a force. I mean, all that pressure those guys were getting on the middle was a lot to do with the internal pressure that he was creating for Stafford not to be able to step up. I thought he played exceptionally well again for another night. They did really well inside. I mean, man, but you lose a guy like John said, BG, you're already limited just in personnel, not just production, but personnel. You're limited out there. They may come up with a way of using Bond. I like that idea, Zander, because it's not beneath him to try to figure a way to create pressure to try to get to the quarterback. So we'll see what he does, because as you said, John, I don't know how many people are walking the street right now that you could just bring bodies in. You're looking for productivity. You're not just looking for a body right now.
Well, if you look at Miami last year with Vic Fangio, they lost Jalen Phillips and Andrew Van Ginkel late in the season. And when they went to the playoffs, they had to sign guys off the street, and they were playing a playoff game with guys off the street, and it did not go well. It's it's tough to do it at this point after the trade deadline. So unfortunately, that's going to be something they have to deal with. Alex Hunt might have to be the guy. You might just say, not might. I mean,
Yeah,
you're going to have to throw him into the deep end of the pool, and maybe lightning strikes twice. You get another Cooper DeJean. Who knows? But that is not a positive for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles fans feeling every range of emotion tonight, folks. I mean, that just, you killed my mood when you tell me Brandon Graham's out for the year, tore his triceps, obviously. So
you know what, though, Zander? Hey, just to go back to the open here, us going back and forth. John, I don't know about you, and I'm not going to put words in your mouth here, but that's a takeaway game, Zander.
Yes, it is.
That's a takeaway game. John was talking, and I loved how he phrased that. There were the Giant game was not a takeaway game. Tonight's game was a takeaway game. You went against some quality wide receivers and quality quarterback tonight, and you know what they did? They gave up early. They settled down. They got pressure. Vic figured it out in game. They ended up being dominant at running the football. You know what I really liked about that whole game plan? There were in-game adjustments in that game where it went right to the strengths. They got away from being anything stupid. And I'll tell you what, it was really well done coaching-wise and how they were able to just weather the storm on the road. Then they ended up blowing that team out of SoFi.
Yep, and it seems to be a trend now, guys, that if you're going to have a shot to get to work the Eagles defense, it seems to be early in games, and then they make the adjustments, and they're much harder the scoring is much harder to come by for these teams late in games.
And by the way, they ended up giving up 290, so that's their worst performance.
Yeah, how many of that was that garbage time?
It was garbage. It was so much of it. That's what I was about to say. So much of it was garbage time.
Yeah,
and
the last offensive touchdown was just garbage time. Zander, when you hold somebody under 300 yards in today's NFL, that's a massive win. I mean, and for them to do that, I can't remember the last time they gave up 300 yards in total offense. They're having a stretch now. It's just sensational.
Yeah, they really almost held the Rams to under 20 again. Obviously, that touchdown came late. By the way, that came on Quinyon Mitchell, which I'm obviously not going to pick on Quinyon Mitchell, but I almost think it's a good time. Like, if you're going to get beat or you're going to learn from something, have it late in a game like that. You're not Iron Man. You're human. Keep working on your craft, and it's a good little humble.
I hope people really. I hope that's not a big deal at all.
Oh no, it's not.
I hope people don't think it is, because it's kind of silly that what they were expecting, holding up Quinyon to this ridiculous standard. Still a young player, still learning. Two very good receivers. By the way, Nacua he is an impressive player.
Yes, he
is.
John, I said he's highly rated. I think he's still a little underrated. I really do. I think he's a really good receiver out there. I love the way he plays. Very physical. Guys, I want to give somebody their flowers, and y'all have you guys analyze his game tonight. Somebody who I think has been getting some recognition for what he's done, but has really come into his own as, I think, better than average. I think getting toward the upper echelon in the league, and I'd have to look at the numbers. Nakobe Dean. I think Nakobe Dean has been a real force out there. He plays physical. He plays hard. He's quick. What did you, Sills, I'll start with you. What did you see from Nakobe Dean out there tonight, and just what you've seen from him coming into his own as a player this year?
He's strung together a lot of really good games. And you know what? Here's what my issues were with him. He had 248 total NFL reps coming into this season. Okay? He wasn't a durable guy. I don't know what system he was in with the Psy a year ago, but I'll tell you what, Vic uses this guy to his assets. And I happen to think, John, the guy playing next to him is also benefiting this guy being able to play, and the guys in front of him that are keeping those guards off him. There is no question. Hey, he rushes the passer better than I thought They didn't do that a year ago. They bring him with pressure. He is quick to the ball. He is definitely getting better and better and better and better each and every single week. They kind of keep him out of coverage issues. He's haven't really had to do that much. But when it comes to tackling, pursuit angles, getting to the quarterback, there's no question. If there was an award, John, for the most improved player on the Philadelphia Eagle defense, Nakobe Dean right now is the leader and the front runner to be the most improved player on that defensive football team.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm trying to think, most of the other guys weren't here, like Zach Bond and the rookies. So of the guys who were here, yeah, I don't think there's any doubt the biggest improvement has come from Nakobe Dean. And part of that, he was durable in college. He was durable. He played all 17 games as a rookie. Granted, only on special teams when he was a backup. And he got hurt last year. And maybe the silver lining to that was he hurt his foot. So he had a Lisfranc injury, had surgery. He was in the rollabout. He was in the boot. He was on the crutches for a very long period of time where he couldn't work out his lower body, and he was working out his upper body. He got a lot bigger. He's a lot more physical. He's great going downhill. He's a very good blitzer. And the issues with Nakobe Dean tend to be in coverage. And Vic has figured out a way. You mentioned, Dan, that they seem to have figured. I don't know how, because I'd be taking shots at him, but nobody can figure out how to take shots at him. So again, we go back to Vic Fangio. It's like he's got the ability to accentuate the strengths of his players and minimize their deficiencies. I don't know how he does it, but he's doing it.
That's the mark of a great. That's a mark of a great coordinator. Because if you go back to Jim Johnson, John, I brought this up numerous times, and I talked to Eric Allen about this. One of the things too that Corey Simon told me was that Hugh Douglas didn't want to run. He didn't want to run. He didn't want to play in the run game. He didn't want to be that guy. So what Jim did was he created a position for him where he just rushed him off the edge, rushed him on first and second down blitzes. And they created a kind of pseudo position for him, and he turned out to be an Eagle Hall of Famer with that. In my opinion, that's truly the mark of a really great coordinator, is being able to take the assets of what a player does, utilize them to the best ability for it to fit a scheme, put him in that scheme, and Vic has done that everywhere. That zone coverage that they did, I'll tell you what, John, I don't know about you, but that zone coverage defense that he plays with, that too high safety, man, it just seems – it seems completely different than the too high they played last year. Like maybe they're up on the ball more. I don't know, man. Or is it just talent that they get to the ball and they're better tacklers and there's better angles because they look quick to the ball. When that ball's out and it gets into the wide receiver's hands, last year it looked like it meandered getting to the player and there was open space. There doesn't look like an open space and a lot of open space out there because those guys look like they're really good tacklers compared to where they were a year ago. They were 30th, according to PFF, last year in tackling. That's not the case.
Well, they were bad at the beginning of this season.
Yeah, first four.
They kind of figured it out. They redid some of their tackling circuits of practice. Bobby King, who's the linebackers coach, kind of took it over, and they've gotten much better at it. And they practice it a little bit more as much as you can. Nobody hits in practice anymore. Nobody's that physical, but they try to work on technique and all that stuff as much as possible. It seems to have paid off, but they've been one of the best tackling teams in the NFL so far this season, and definitely over the past 7 weeks. This looks like a really good team right now. Really good team that could beat you a host of different ways, and that's what you want. But I think of it all, and we go back to the start, and I apologize for upsetting you, Zander, but
you don't need to apologize.
The defense to me is the story of this team.
And you line.
It just is. It just is. I mean, they were terrible last year. We were talking, you talk about me in August talking about Saquon. What about me in August talking about the defense? What about me in August talking about the linebackers? I got no problems admitting when I'm wrong. I have no problem. I didn't see this defense being – I thought the upside of this defense was 15 or 16, middle of the road. And that's because I thought Vic would get them a little bit better. This is arguably the best defense in the NFL. That's the story of this season for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Well, you're not to worry about that, John. I'll tell him. I'm not sorry about shit. And I'll tell you, Xander, at the end of the day,
if anybody's the lead story on this panel, it's your boy right here.
About me, Junior. The story for me with that team was what John said at the beginning in the pregame. The O-line and D-line, this is as good as it was in 17 right now. John, you know what I said about that team? I didn't know anything really about your special guys, your offensive specialists. I didn't know it. I just knew this. That's the best collection of O-line, D-line. And Jason Peters was even hurt going into the playoffs for that year. And I said, that's the best combination. John, I'll make this point to you. The Eagles right now have the best combination of D-line and O-line in the league, and that's going to carry them a long way.
I agree with that because, Detroit lost Aiden Hutchinson. So remember that. They don't have Aiden Hutchinson. So when we talk about Brandon Graham, obviously a difficult injury. They suffered that guy might have been the defensive player of the year. But, this is when I talk about – think about this. The Rams are flawed, as we know, as we discussed. But you know what? Matthew Stafford's out there. Cooper Kupp's out there.
That's right.
Puka Nakua's out there.
Great.
And the Eagles defense didn't give up a third down.
Absolutely. No way, man. That was a great performance by them. I mean, John, we're talking about one of the greatest passers in the game who's going to be a Hall of Fame guy. I mean, and he still can throw those balls on a dime when he needs to get the ball. But when he gets pressure on him, which they got to him, they did a fabulous job. There's no question. There's some massive – hey, last week was a takeaway game. This was a massive takeaway game because here's what I took away from this week. There is no question, John, that when you look at the NFC, especially Xander, and you look around the NFC, do you have anybody on that side of the aisle when it comes to the conference where you went like this outside of Detroit? I mean, do I really do this? Hey, Minnesota, man. Yeah. No, I don't. Green Bay? No, I don't. Now, injuries are going to play a factor as you go along these next 6 ball games, and especially this coming week when you've got the Ravens coming up. This is, you know what this is going to come down to for the Eagles winning a Super Bowl? The survival. Will they have the roster at the end of the year to line up and play for a Super Bowl? Because as you saw tonight, the war of attrition had its casualty tonight for the Eagles. Yeah. Just like the casualty for Aiden Hutchinson with Detroit. John knows as good as anybody. 53 men start the season. 53 men don't usually finish the season like we saw in 22. Tonight, we saw a little bit of that.
And by the way, I was questioning, to be honest, I was questioning why Saquon was in the game for that second 70-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, I was with you, John.
What the hell? It's 30-14.
Yeah, they weren't coming back.
I'm like, I get it's a 2-score game, so, but boy, I would have pulled them.
Yeah,
I would have pulled them.
I tell you what, I mean, we'll see what other ramifications come on the injury front. Slay went down, Sweat went down. There's a couple other guys that had so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But I tell you what, right now, I bet you that Brandon Graham injury is going to be a rallying cry in that locker room. I mean, I know that people don't think that stuff matters. John, you point to how confidence matters all the time in the league. I think stuff like that matters when you have a team, and they might say, hey, let's try and go win this thing for Brandon Graham. Hopefully the rest of the squad can stay ready, guys. You got to get to our commercial.
One thing here before you go to commercial, John, 26 carries, 28 carries last week. We're floating around that 360 carries for the season. I mean, is that a concern? Because you just brought it up. Why is he in the ball game there when you have that much of a lead there? I mean, 300. The most he's ever had is 292 carries. Now, the old John, he's getting hit 4 yards past the old line.
I know.
So, I mean, I don't know how much physicality he's taking.
Well, remember, he got banged up a little bit in the first half.
He
It
did,
looked
yeah,
like he was dealing with a little bit of a groin type thing when he was walking off gingerly. And he was out for a while and then came back. I don't know. I'd be more cautious. By the way, we should get to that after the break. It doesn't matter because it's a blowout, but Nick Sirianni made some bad decisions today.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
legit
I'm happy to pick
bad
up on that.
decision. Not like bullshit we were arguing. Legit bad decisions today.
Yeah, at the end of the first half was one that comes right to mind for me.
That was appalling, the end of the first half. And then he declined the penalty on 4th and 3. The refs let him off the hook.
I think that was a makeup call for the PI, the bad PI.
Everybody says that.
All right, we'll let you have this. We'll let you have it.
That's incompetence. That's incompetence by the officiating crew, as was the PI. But it's not a makeup call. They just, it's like, what are you doing? I said immediately, what are you doing? It's going to be 4th and 3. They're going to go for it immediately.
Then you gave him 2 downs.
Yeah, that was weird.
Well, you didn't. They let him change his mind, but
I got to get.
By the way, if that's just if the NFL's got to close that loophole if that's allowed, because it shouldn't be allowed.
Good stuff there. Let's get to our commercial break. Saquon Barkley lights the lamp tonight, everybody. Over 300 total yards. We had a great debate at the start of the show. I think the best player in the NFL is Saquon Barkley.
I'm not apologizing for anything.
Wait, Stills, one thing. Say it with me. Ready, Stills? No hole. Say it. Ready? No holes defense. Right, so say it with me, Sills. The no holes defense. We'll be back.
Don't worry, Junior. They're getting there, and we're gonna find out this weekend. We got Derrick Henry coming into town.
Oh, it was gonna find out at the Rams. Now we're gonna find out the Rams.
No.
We'll find out.
Are you suggesting you don't think Derrick Henry is gonna be a problem in Lamar?
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. Derrick Henry's a beast. He's second best running back in the league behind Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
By the way,
all right, let's get to the commercial. I got to get to the break. Thanks everybody.
By the way, you're going to see the best player in the world December 1st in Baltimore. His name is Lamar Jackson.
Saquon Barkley. I just watched him. I don't know what you're talking about. I just watched the best player in the world in LA in SoFi. Saquon Barkley. All right, let me get to the break. Hit that like button, everybody. Hit the like button for Saquon. Hit the like button for Brandon Graham, who's going to miss it. Hit the like button for the no holes defense. Hit the like button for the best player in the NFL, Saquon Barkley. We'll be back in 3 minutes, everybody.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The following is a real testimonial from the father of a young injured victim.
I didn't think she was going to make it.
Major Perry's daughter was the victim of a horrific accident caused by someone else's negligence.
If you don't find the right counselor, law firm that you're looking for, you will get lost in the wilderness.
Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Bianculli Law Firm at 215-458-2222 and find out why they say, "We got this."
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
We noticed that there was mold creeping into our basement about a year and a half ago and wanted to make sure that we were getting rid of the problem permanently. We actually reached out to several different contractors to get it resolved, and actually 2 of them recommended DryTech to us as a long-term solution. Other than the noise factor, we wouldn't even know that there was work being done on the basement level. It's really been a clean process for us.
Score and save this football season on your car insurance. Before the next game, save up to 40% on your auto insurance policy. That's right, 40% savings. Call an audible this season and contact the Del Val Insurance Group. They're an advocate for you, not an insurance company. That means they'll get you the right coverage and save you up to 40%. Call managing partners Fran or Jim of Del Val Insurance, 215-354-0122, or score and save at dvigi.com. dvigi.com.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Welcome back in, everybody, to the JAKIB Postgame Show. Philadelphia Eagles get the win again, 37-20, their 7th straight win, and they moved to 9-2 on the year, knocking on the door of the first place in the NFC, still tailing the Detroit Lions, who won again today. For those just checking in, for those who missed the game, Saquon Barkley went absolutely off tonight. Over 300 total yards, 255 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns, as well as 47 in the passing game. What a performance for him. And then news that just came down after the game. Eagle legend, future Eagle Hall of Famer, the guy who was crushing it tonight in his age 36 season, Brandon Graham, has announced he will be done for the year after torn what was it, John? Torn triceps for Brandon Graham?
Torn triceps, yeah.
Yeah, so a tough injury for BG, and he will miss the remainder of the year. We will see if that's it for Brandon Graham. This was mostly thought of as his final season in Philly, and it now ends in LA. And he had a great game tonight. John, let's get into Nick Sirianni. You brought him up before the break. What did you think of Nick Sirianni? I mean, I was thinking about the coaches, and you guys already talked about Vic, how good he's been. I thought Kellen had a good game tonight. I liked the game plan coming out of the jump today. Now, they didn't get a touchdown in that opening drive. I thought Kellen was good. Nick made some questionable decisions, but overall, I thought his demeanor and everything was good on the sideline. John, what did you see from Nick that was concerning to you?
Well, I don't care about his demeanor, but at the end of the first half was, I thought, pretty egregious, to be honest. The handling, the time management. Nakobe Dean had a second down sack that put, I'm trying to look it up real quick, it put LA in a 3rd and 13.
They gave them a shot at a Hail Mary.
Well, yeah, that was before. So Los Angeles, the Rams had a 2nd and 5 when Dean sacked Nakobe. That play started at 123. So the sack, you're about 115, 114. You call timeout. The Eagles had timeouts. They didn't call timeout. So LA ran the 3rd and 13 with 38 seconds left, and Kyron Williams ran for 8 yards, and they punted the football. But before they punted the football, the Eagles called timeout with 33 seconds. So if you're going to call timeout to try to get something extra, why don't you call timeout after the sack and it's 3rd and 13? And you're going to have a minute plus to work down the field. Instead, they have a total of 26 seconds after the punts. And then they go into what they did. You had a couple incomplete passes, blah, blah, blah. And then they go for it on 4th and 7 with 7 seconds left. And they don't even run out the clock.
John, does he have a spot? Most head coaches, when it comes to time management, they have time management spotters that tell them.
Yeah, they do. But I mean, everything's a collaboration. But I mean, that's a bad collaboration, the way they handled that situation. If you just want to go to halftime because you're getting the football in the second half, I'm fine with that. Then let the clock run out. Just go into halftime. And then on the first play in the second half, Saquon goes for 70 anyway. So none of it mattered. But the point is, if you're playing a better team, a better opponent, you're in a game that matters. That's just bad decision making all around. So that's the kind of stuff that I don't like.
And John, it gets covered with a guy with 300 and some odd yards of total offense. But like you said, you get into the playoffs like that, and that was Andy Reid's biggest issues he had in Philly when he was here, was his time management going into the half and also 2 minutes left in a ball game. I mean, now look, is that a young coach still? I mean, Jesus, I would think that they would.
I don't know. We always criticize Jalen Hurts for being late, doing this, making late decisions. That's a late decision. And then he made a late decision that he was bailed out with in the second half with the officials. You know, at the Rams, I forget who broke it up. It was Zach Bond who broke it up on. Zach Bond's the only guy who could cover Puka Nacua today. He broke it up, I believe, on the 3rd and 3. So it was a 4th and 3, but the Rams got called for holding. So Nick's declining the penalty, and it's going to be 4th and 3. And the Rams are obviously going to go for it. They're trying to get back in the game. And they come out with their offense, and then he changes his mind, and the officials let him do it. Now, there's a lot of convoluted bullshit with Eagles fans saying, they declined the penalty, and the officials let him back out of it when he realized, oh, that's a fucking stupid.
John, I don't know if I've ever seen that where they changed the call like that and the refs allowed it. I mean, again, I was with Collinsworth on that.
I don't get
evidently
if you think about it, I mean, the decision that the Rams are making is basically hinging on what the Eagles decide to do there. Right. And then the Rams make the decision, and then Nick wants to change it. I'm like,
they gave him a double shot at it.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. And speaking of it, John, and I'm with you on this, where I don't like to criticize. Every team deals with officials. It's part of the game.
I hate it.
God,
like people are saying, Isaiah Rodgers got a crappy PI call. It should have been called. But there's nothing you can do about it. It happens to every team.
I just thought tonight they seemed extra bad to me tonight. They just missed calls left and right, I thought.
Zander, again, like you said, I mean, it's a human game. You got human emotion going on. The refs sometimes feel it too. So you're going to get questionable calls and questionable decisions. Remember, man, pass interference is subjective, okay? And anytime you're in that situation like that, most of that shit is so subjective, man. Most of the time when you see a holding call when you're talking O-line, D-line, you know what he's doing by pulling him down. Pass interference, hey, dude, how many times we watched the guy not hook anybody and you're sitting there going, both guys are fighting for the football. Anytime you put a decision like that in the hands, and John, it's the most critical play because Zander, in pass interference, it's a spot foul. Not like in college where it's 15.
I prefer the college rule when it comes to PI for that reason. You know, so many times you see you bail out. In fact, to be honest, I don't know why more teams don't. You know, if you're in a desperation situation or it's 3rd and long, I don't know why more teams don't run go routes. And
that's right. Just throw it up, John. You got a 50
teach their receivers to come back to the football, create contact. I'm surprised more teams don't coach that, to be honest.
That's right. 50-50. It's 50-50. You have a shot at getting PI down there like that because this is what the league wants. They want high scoring and they want spread out offenses to be able to put points on the board. That's exactly correct. You know why AJ is so amazing at what he does? He is a freakazoid on jump footballs. And, John, I'll tell you what. You know, I remember Terrell Owens and how great a football player he was. I covered him when I was out in the Bay Area. This guy reminds me a lot of T.O., man. I mean, when he gets the football with those hand strength and he gets that ball, no matter where he is on the field, he is a bitch to get on the ground.
I remember the first time I saw T.O. on the field, I was like, I had to do a double take. I was like,
he's like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, my Lord. I'm like, now there's like 50 TOs in this league.
Yeah.
AJ's one of them.
Yeah, DK Metcalf, another guy like that.
Yeah. But I think Collinsworth said when it comes to AJ, he described it perfectly. You can't cover the guy, and you can't tackle.
Yeah.
And
He's tough.
when he does catch it, you can't tackle.
He is tough to deal with, no doubt. I do want to ask you guys about Saquon Barkley, minus the debate on how great he is, and just get your perspective on what he did tonight. I mean,
I want to marry him. By the way, Saquon got married. Congratulations to Saquon. He got married.
Oh,
not to you, Zander, but to his girlfriend.
Woo!
They get married. Man.
That's all right. John's gonna have to deal with me all week. I might put John in such a concussion protocol this week. He decides to retire mid-season. It may or may not happen. So stay tuned on Birds 365. But no, we did just watch a historic performance. All jokes aside, I mean, 300+ yards is
ninth best performance ever.
Yeah, 255 rushing yards. I mean, what we just watched was unbelievable. Sills, I'll start with you. What'd you make of what he did out there today?
His quickness and how fast he gets into the holes. I mean, Zander, and again, I can't dismiss with that old line, though. They're blowing guys off the ball. Then you put his amazing talent inside those run plays that he's having. John, I think they touch him 3-4 yards every single carry, and it's very seldom they get him for a tackle for loss or they're touching him behind the line of scrimmage. The way that Jeff Stoutland, the run coordinator, is running the football right now, I mean, them and the Ravens right now are the two best rushing teams in the NFL. Zander, his quickness, his cuts, plus the way he catches the football, how good he is on that part of the game too. Boy, I'll tell you what, man, there was a guy back in the day by the name of Marcus Allen who kind of did that same kind of shit. He would get into the line of scrimmage, and he would just fly through that line of scrimmage, and then we would go out in the perimeter, and he would catch footballs the same way, and he was a dual-threat force like that too. Different type of players. Marcus was a lot taller and more leaner. This guy's a more muscular type of guy. I'm telling you, man, he is a really special football player, and the one thing he does do better than what Henry does, that is clearly catching the football out in the perimeter. And I said it before, you talk about a most valuable player to a team. Right now, this guy here, man, he's the engine. And he's pulling that Eagle team along with him, that offense that is opening up. I mean, him and AJ right now, there is no doubt him and AJ are uncoverable people right now in that offense. And these guys are playing great. When AJ's out there, hey, Devontae, like John said, dude, I didn't even notice him not being out there. He was just a non-factor because those two guys were just carrying that mail for that team.
Yeah.
Amazing performance. Hey, again, I remember watching a game years and years ago, 275 yards by Walter Payton, and he killed the Minnesota Vikings on a Sunday night when he had the flu, and I knew Walter back in the day. And I'll tell you what, that's that kind of performance where you're just getting 7-8 yards a carry, and you can't stop him. The only difference was that Payton had nobody on that team. You got AJ on that team, which kind of opens it up a little bit more.
Walter was.
I mean, but Zander, this is one of the greatest performances I've ever seen running the football, and it was a historic night for him. Breaks the Eagle record.
By the way, I will admit I wasn't expecting Saquon Barkley. And boy, I want to take this moment to just talk about how bad the New York Giants were. Because I was judging my thoughts on Saquon based on what I saw for 6 years.
How could you not, John?
I did not see anything close to this. Outside of his rookie year, he was pretty spectacular. But ever since he tore his ACL,
John, he had never shown this ability at New York. Now, again, is that New York not putting the talented people around him? Of course it is. However, I never in a million years saw this in New York.
But this is a team game. It is not a vacuum. If Saquon goes back to New York tomorrow, he's the same player he was in New York the year prior.
Correct.
But, this is the best offensive line in football. And now he's running behind the best offensive line in football, and it has made him better. But he's also a different level of talent than guys who made the Pro Bowl, like Miles Sanders and DeAndre Swift.
Hey,
he
John,
is a different level.
John, here Adrian Peterson, 296 in 07. Jamal Lewis, 295 in 03. Jerome Harris, Cleveland Browns, 286 09. Corey Dillon, 278 2000. Peyton, 275 1977. OJ, 273 76 against the Steelers on a Monday night. Sean Alexander, Seattle Seahawks, 266 and 01. Jamal Charles, Kansas City, 259 and 10. And Barkley tonight, 255, 2024 ninth. Jonathan Taylor, 253. DeMarco Murray, Dallas Cowboys, 253. That's all in 2011. If you notice a lot of those numbers, you're seeing a lot of the 200-yard rushing games and present now. You didn't see that stuff back in the day because you had more dominant defenses and players in free agency didn't move around as much. So you were able to keep players intact. Like the Steel Curtain was intact for 10, 15 years, and they had the same players. You don't get that any longer in the NFL today because you have massive turnover every year. That's why you see the 200-yard rushing games be coming up right now in the 2000s.
John, I'm going to let you get out of here. Before I do, I just want to get your final thoughts. Birds win big today, 37-20. It's their 7th straight win. They're now 9-2 on the year. They have a commanding lead in the NFC East after the Commanders dropped the game today to the Cowboys. Your final takeaway on what you saw from the Birds tonight, and then we'll talk to you again in the morning on Birds 365.
Well, the NFC East is over. I mean, the Eagles are going to the playoffs. They're going to be the NFC East champions. The goal for the Eagles is to be the number 1 seed in the conference, and they got to chase down Detroit. So you got to hope for a hiccup along the way, but the Eagles got to keep winning. December 1st in Baltimore, probably their toughest game coming up. Pittsburgh, I think they're a better team than Pittsburgh. I don't have as much concern about that as others do. But next week is it, man. We keep saying, wait for this game, wait for this game, wait for this game. I'm going to say one more week, and that's it. Wait for this game. And this will be the time to take the temperature. We know this is a really good team. Are they going to be number 1 seed worthy? Or are they going to be just worthy of beating up on the Commanders and the Cowboys and Giants? We know they can do that. This is about competing with those 4 or 5 legitimate contenders. I'm not even sure if Baltimore's in that category. They should be, but they've had hiccups and they haven't played up to their potential. But if they do, they're going to be tough to deal with. And they're not going to be a team like you saw today that you can just push around. This was a bully pushing around the weak kid in high school. That's what this was today.
John, I got one more. Wait.
Team.
Let me get that. I got one more for you, John, before you leave, because I meant to ask you this on the halftime show. You've been covering this team since Jordan Mailata has become an Eagle. Have you ever seen him get bulldozed like he did by Jared Verse on that play?
No, I didn't. I haven't. But, that's just a leverage thing. He was off balance.
Yeah, he was. Still, you just don't see that.
You don't do it. But there was a time where Jordan got him as well. Yeah, but that usually doesn't happen. He just got off balance, and he probably got pissed off, and that probably, contributed to the second half destruction. Because it doesn't matter. Dan can tell you this. Dan, what's up in the Miami weight room? What is it? 570? What is it?
540.
540.
It don't matter, John.
No, that's what I'm saying. Dan, you probably got put on your ass once or twice. Everybody does. Everybody does.
John, you want to hear something? That's actually a win, Zander. Because if the guy doesn't get to the quarterback and he bowls you over and you pull him on you,
It depends. It's a win with Jalen Hurts because he's elusive. If that was Matt Stafford, that wasn't a win.
John, before you go, I do want to say this here. The Eagles are 9-2 after tonight's game. Here's the other three. You got Green Bay at 8-3, still hanging in there too. You've got Minnesota at 9-2, and you have Detroit at 10-1. So basically, right now, for home field advantage, those are probably the four teams right now that are vying for some type of home field advantage.
I don't believe in Minnesota. They blew an 11-point lead to an awful Chicago Bears team inside of, I think, a minute and a half. I don't even know how you do that, but they came back to win the game in overtime. But that's grievous to me.
Green Bay.
But the Eagles have the tiebreaker on them because they beat them week 1. So that's a big advantage there. So to me, it all comes down to Detroit.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about this edge rusher position, too. I'm not going to lie. With BG now out, Josh Sweat's banged up. I mean, if we're relying on a Jalen Hunt, that gives me a little bit concerned. John, good stuff, man. We'll talk to you in the morning on Birds 365.
All right, thanks, guys.
Get your head ready. Maybe go and get a Guardian cap, John, for the morning.
Oh, God. Hey, John, greatest player in the game right now. I got it.
Johnny Mac with us on the first game show. Good stuff, John. Big Sills. What a game that was, man.
Dude.
Wait, now our chaperone is gone. Now me and you can let the haymakers fly because Elizabeth in the chat is mad that I'm chirping. I'm like, Elizabeth, I'll chirp this mother effer right to his face. You think I care?
Hey, shut up, Elizabeth.
I mean, I'll come right for John. I'm calling the receipts on you. I'm calling the receipts on McMullen. Everybody's out the pasture today.
So wait a minute now. He's the greatest player in the game right now, right?
I think this year he's playing like the best football player in the NFL.
I
truly believe that.
I do too. I think right now he is having a great year. But Zander, I'm going to promise you how that thing comes down. Now, look, we can look at him and say he's having the best year, and technically he really is. And you can see the importance because we watch the team on a daily basis. But the 50 MVP voters that vote every year, they're not going to look at that.
Yeah,
dude.
I know, but I'm not talking about the MVP. So you and I both know. Look, like it's a cool.
So you're just saying, is he playing the best ball?
Yeah, in my opinion, I've watched a lot of NFL football this year. That dude right now,
I think Josh Allen still.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, quarterbacks are always going to be in a different caliber because they touch the ball every single.
Non-quarterback, absolutely. Non-quarterback, absolutely. He's playing the best.
I don't even think it's close. If you're going to go non-quarterback with me,
no.
I mean, so look though, because we talk all the time about Jalen Hurts and some of the deficiencies and what this team can do. Sills, when I watch this team play, and I see the defense, forget being the number one ranked, right? Like every time there's going to be a good quarterback that gets you. You're not going to only give up 200 yards a game. When they have a defense that plays physical like that at the point of attack, when you have a running game that keeps coming, and not only is it just Saquon, it's multi-pronged because it's the offensive line, it's Jalen Hurts' ability, and it's Saquon's. So it's not so easy. It's not just like, okay, stack the box, we'll take it away. You talk about it all the time. How good is that offensive line? And then you add in Jalen Hurts' no turnovers. All he has to do is manage the game. This team can beat anybody, Big Shells. I really believe that.
Yes. Now, if your coach doesn't fuck up, and if your quarterback doesn't turn the ball over, and that defense continues to play the way it is, and by the way, the more confidence you have week in and week out, I mean, like John said, Zander, we're now running out of games. Where you're like last year, we were sitting here going like this. We're watching the team implode week in and week out. You're watching the team build equity every single week. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm taking away from tonight. That's a heck of a performance, man. They got a really good running back. They have two outstanding wide receivers. They have an excellent quarterback. And I disagree with John when it comes to Sean McVay. Sean McVay owns 2 NFC titles.
I disagree with him.
I mean, he's one of the greatest play callers in the game.
He talked about Sean McVay like he was a stiff.
Yeah, I mean, Sean McVay has a resume unlike anyone else in the NFC when it comes to winning championships. And I disagree with that. But at the end of the day, dude, the Eagles weathered the storm. They settled down. Vic made in-game adjustments. I got to say it one more time. Josh Sweat and Brandon Graham were forces. I mean, now, Zander, think about this. If you take Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat out of that, did you hear anybody else putting pressure on the quarterback? Kobe Dean brought some pressure, but there wasn't really anybody else. And my issue would be this. Now that you lose Graham, okay, so Graham, the way he was, dude, he was playing like a 10-sack guy.
Dude, I'm like depressed tonight about that.
Oh, my God.
As excited as I am about the win and Saquon and this
Milton was a force tonight.
Milton Williams was a force tonight, man. Milton Williams was incredible tonight. He's been really, really good all year. But, dude, BG, I mean, it's one thing to lose a 36-year-old player that the whole city loves, right? Okay, it sucks. It's another thing when he's playing like he was playing.
We're talking about a productive player here, not
and getting a lot of snaps. Like, nobody expected him to be this good. You know, we had a lot of people in our chat when they signed him. I think even me and you were like, "Hey, did we want to sign him?"
No. I for the money, I was like, "Why are you doing that? For what? A ceremony?"
Yeah, I mean, look at this thing has turned out to be an incredible move, and now you lose that player. Sills, how concerned are you on the edge? Because I don't know about Sweat's injury. We'll see what that is, but he did get banged up tonight. BG's out for the year. Bryce Huff could presumably be out for the year. When they don't put a timeline on when somebody returns, I always get a little concerned about that. They're like, right now, it's like, should be back, maybe for the playoffs. We'll see about Bryce Huff. Now, I know he hasn't been great, but when you're down bodies, man, you need players. Who's going to play the edge right now?
Did you also see Slay? When he went out, they started targeting Isaiah Rodgers.
Yeah, well, I tweeted it out because that pass interference call on Isaiah Rodgers was terrible. But I said right away, that got in his head because the next play he got burned for the touchdown, and you could see it. He was visibly upset at the PI call. Yeah. And then the next drive, they just kept going right at him all day.
By the way, also, Reed's playing a lot of snaps, and I think some of that is starting to wear on him as well. Remember Xander, there's no question. Your football team right now on November 24th, as we're getting into the Thanksgiving weekend next week, there's no question that they are, along with the Lions, two best teams in the NFC. This is going to come down, Xander, to whose roster is going to be better when it comes to the playoffs, because you lose a guy like Brett. Look, take a look at both teams. Aiden Hutchinson was leading the NFL in sacks when he went down. You got a guy who was playing his ass off. Plus, let's not dismiss this. So wait a minute here. Put this out there now. So you lost Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelsey, and now Brandon Graham, and leadership in your locker room too as well. He's more than just his production.
He'll be in there.
A lot going on with that. And look, the production's more important to me than what Kumbayas are.
Yeah, I agree.
But you put it all together, again, that's right. I'm awake or you. Dude, this comes down to good or bad luck at the end of the year here. Guys stepping off a curb. You never know, man. I mean, this is really going to come down. Look at the 49ers. They can't catch a break to save their life right now. The cool thing about the Eagles, though, is this. They have depth in other positions. And, Xander, they have the two most important things that no team, I think, has in the NFL, and that includes the Lions. I don't think there's a team in the league that has a better tandem of O-line, D-line in the league right now, and I think it's got a lot to do with those interior guys. But I will say this to you.
D-line took a hit tonight.
Jordan Davis, once again, man. Dude, I mean, I don't see him anywhere.
Really? Because I thought I like Kyron Williams.
I'm not even sure.
He wasn't great tonight, dude. 16 carries, 72 yards. He had 2 fumbles. He lost the 1 fumble. I thought Jordan Davis did pretty good plug in the middle tonight. And by the way,
72 yards is not awful in a touchdown.
No, it's not awful, but I mean,
Carey had in there too. I mean, did he even show up? He pitched another 0 for today. I mean, Jalen Carter, had 1 for 1.
Yeah, but still, you just said it, dude. The two main things are our lines. I just don't know. Is the D line? I'm not trying to be a pessimist.
No, I know you're not. I got it.
I'm trying to be. I really believe this team is a Super Bowl team. But when you look at the problems now this is what we talk about. It's not about November, as excited as we are. It's about late in the year, the war of attrition.
Yep.
We're in a little bit of a tough spot right now with who's going to be getting after the quarterback in the back half of the year.
And I looked who's out there on the street. There's nobody really of any significance.
Oh, there's nobody. There's nobody
breaking in there right now. So you know what Vic's going to have to do, and this is going to really come down to Vic's ingenuity here. Him moving people around, moving people into different places right now.
Milton Williams might have to play some.
I like your idea, Zach Bond on the edge.
Well, did you see they put him out there at the end there when?
Yeah,
they put him out there.
I get this. How about that? Think about that. What that guy did. He put him out there. Vic Fangio sitting up top, going. They must have known, and they must have told him he's not available. He's not coming back because that wasn't reported during the game that Graham wasn't coming back. He must have been told that because he put him out there on the perimeter. They're getting ready for that. So be prepared to see Zach Bond play inside and outside. Now, does that mean more play from Trotter? Or
that's what I was going to ask you. If they're going to put him on the edge, does that mean 61 fronts where you got 6 on the line and 1 linebacker? Or are they going to try and sub in another linebacker with a Trotter or an Oren Burke, somebody that's a little more experienced?
What's that guy's name that John loves? Van Helsing. They're going to put his ass in there. And they're probably
Van Sumeren. Van Sumeren.
Yeah, Van Sumeren is probably going to get more reps, or you're going to see Trotter get more reps, especially if they're going to put Bond on the perimeter.
Yeah, no doubt. Good stuff there. We'll see how it all plays out. I do want to read a couple super chats here. Sorry, everybody, I did not get to all the super chats tonight. I'll read as many as I can. And I want to thank our new members. Drew Nichols. Drew, thanks for becoming a member, my man. Jeffrey Henry, thanks for becoming a member. You guys are all officially entered into the Saquon Barkley jersey giveaway. Nugget becomes a member. Thank you, Nugget. Appreciate you guys for becoming a member. I'm thinking about the 2 jersey giveaway sales. I'm going broke on Saquon jerseys. This dude's got me giving away a jersey a week.
They had 314 yards rushing. That's something like Bama does to people, dude. 314 yards.
All right, now that John's out, so you don't have to cater to John anymore, okay?
Oh yeah, that's me. That's right.
Yeah, you really think that AJ Brown's better at being a receiver than Saquon is a running back? I love AJ Brown. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a top 3 receiver in the league.
Dude, he's uncoverable.
I know, but
you can't cover him.
Look at Saquon, dude. Saquon has what, 1,400 yards?
I get it, but I haven't seen him ever do that. I've seen AJ do this every year. He's been in
AJ
Philly.
Brown sucked in Tennessee. He never even had 1,000 yards in Tennessee.
I'm talking the last 3 years here.
I know, but the point is that Saquon's never had the benefit of the good team like AJ has until this year.
And Zander, that's to John and I's point, though. I mean, I've never seen this from him. I never knew he had it in him. He was 6 years in New York.
Oh, I'm giving John shit tomorrow. He tried to come at my. I'm giving that mother shit tomorrow, man.
Hey, Zander, that guy's never shown this. Hey, Josh Jacobs could do the same thing Barkley's doing right now.
No, he couldn't.
Yeah, he could. You know why?
No, he couldn't.
No one's touching. No, I believe that 100%. You know why? Dude, like I said, your O-line is the best group in the National Football League, and they're not touching that guy 4 yards past the line. I'm sorry.
So, I love you. Wait a
minute.
I get your example. Dude, I'm an Alabama guy. Josh Jacobs is not hitting holes like Saquon.
In New York, when he didn't have the same O-line, he was getting hammered. If Josh Jacobs and you don't think Derrick Henry could do the same shit with a better O-line?
That's a different question.
Derrick Henry, 1,700 yards with the Raiders, Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, but he's not hitting holes like Saquon Barkley is.
Haas, that guy's going to get 1,700 yards this year himself, playing in Green Bay. I think
Barkley
has not had a better career than Josh Jacobs even.
No, I know, but Barkley was plagued with New York.
That's what's making this insane. Is that what he's doing? Zander, one of the things I said, that guy never lived up to being a 2nd-round pick in New York. And what have I been saying for the last month and a half? Dude, if you're New York, you fired 2 quarterbacks this week, and you're watching that guy go for 300 total yards tonight. If you're John Mara, you have to ask for asses at the end.
What do you think? What do you think Joe Schoen does when he watches? Just puts his feet up and says, "All right, I'm going to be unemployed."
Right. How do you justify? Hey, how do you justify letting? But get this. Even if you were like this, to what you and John were saying, hey, they couldn't keep him. Okay, how about this? You couldn't trade him to somebody to get some equity back. Zander, they just went like this. Hey, fuck you. I'll see you later. Nothing back in return. You got nothing for that guy. And he's going to go for $2,000. That's incredible. I've never seen a guy walk out of a building, go to a place in the same division, Zander, and give you the Owazul while you're watching it and you're melting down as the Giants organization. Dude,
Yes.
New York's going to go nuts on Monday. What this guy did tonight, because they're going to go like this. I don't know who's the worst franchise right now, the Jets or the Giants. I have no idea what's worse right now.
Yeah,
And
well, the
staying
Giants.
with-
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I know we'd love to talk about the MVP. I don't really give a shit about the MVP. I don't care.
do.
But I know you do.
I-
No, I like it. It's cool to win it, but like I'm not going to gauge Barkley's level of impact based on the MVP. But I will say this. You and I both know there's a level of popularity contest involved in the MVP. And when you do it on prime time, remember, like LeBron James is in the house, all these big celebrities are there, SoFi, Sunday Night Football, and you put up a 300 burger. I mean, there's people all over that are tweeting. They don't watch the Eagles every game, and they're tweeting, "Oh, look at Saquon Barkley." It's going to have a little bit of an impact doing it on prime time Sunday Night Football. We'll see how the conversation shifts.
I'll tell you what, if I had to, like with my NFL honors MVP vote, if I had to put just off the top of my head right now, I would say this to you, man. I'd probably go, I would go Allen, Barkley, Lamar, Henry, and maybe Jefferson in Minnesota. Those would be my guys. I'm not going to put Mahomes in there because of all the turnovers, even though they are 10-1 on the season. Mahomes could be down there at 5-2 if you don't want to put Justin Jefferson, who I think is having another great year. But I mean, dude, I don't know, man. I mean, top four, I got them. Allen, Barkley, Lamar, and Henry would be my four best performances so far this year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Let's get to a couple super chats here in the chat. I want to thank everybody for the super chats tonight and all the support of the channel. Don't forget to hit that like button, everybody. Let's hit that like, as I mentioned, for Brandon Graham, who tore his triceps. He's announced that he is out for the year after Sills, how good was his game tonight before he got hurt? It was his best game of the season.
I was in awe how quick he looked, how fast he looked, how motivated he was. I mean, did you hear Collinsworth even, man? Collinsworth was like, holy cow, was giving him his flowers. And I don't think anybody, I didn't know, obviously, until John said that. Boy, what a shot to the nuts that thing was when John said that, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's get to a couple super chats. Again, thanks everybody for the super chats. Christopher Darker, group vote to get rid of John McMullen. No. He's without a doubt the best player in the NFL right now. He's so negative all the time. I love coming to watch it. So damn negative. Hey, you're talking to Sileo and you're talking to McMullen. You know, you didn't expect positivity, did you, Christopher? Sean Mims checks in.
I gave you great positivity.
Best player in the league.
Okay, yeah. I mean, sure, all right, yeah.
Wait, so you know what I love at your signature? When Big Zay's going off on you and you can't fathom it, how right I am. This is what you do. You pull out the pen and you go like this for hours.
No, you know what I'm writing down? You're a dumbass.
He's writing, I'm a dumbass in 40 different fonts. Sean Mims checks in. Hey, so the defense shut down a good quarterback. What's your excuse now for the defense being good? That's the no holes defense.
How about this, Sean? Excuse? No, this young group is getting better every single week. And the same bullshit that you guys were talking last year, instead of going down the tank, they're elevating. That's the difference, Sean. I'm a prove it to you guy, not a wishful thinking where you put your tooth under your pillow and fucking hope that the tooth fairy puts $1 bill under there. Sean, I'm a guy that has to see it, and I saw it tonight. Thank you. Take the night off, kid. Go put your dunce hat on.
Who told you about the no holes defense back in August, Big Sills?
Yeah, Limburg cheese, but no, it's not Limburg cheese.
No,
anymore.
it's not. It's not Limburg cheese at all,
not.
and you know it.
Well,
Even if it burns you to admit it, you know it.
It doesn't burn me. It doesn't.
Oh, it's eating you up. I can see it through the screen. I
worry.
know you like
I got a special show planned. I got a special show planned out for the National Football Show on Monday.
Michael says, "Stick it to him, Big C." I tried, Michael. I had both these dudes team up.
Wait a minute, Michael. You're
right.
ready?
Yes, and John called me a whack job.
Here's this. Watch this, Michael. Phenomenal Barkley. Phenomenal defense. Phenomenal O-line. Great pressure on the quarterback. AJ and Barkley were stars. Think about what name I keep leaving out. Gunnar.
I thought Hurts was good tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, he was good. Good ain't gonna win it.
Well, no, but we talk about this all the time. I know that he's not this elite, insane quarterback like these other guys. But when you have a team built like we're built, all you need him to do is manage the game and don't turn the football over and make the throws when you need to make the throws. And he did. He made some clutch third down throws tonight too. AJ Brown.
If you have DeAndre Swift or Miles Sanders on that team, are you the same team?
No, I mean we had him last year.
Okay. The guy that's the difference maker is not your quarterback. The difference maker is the guy in the backfield.
Oh yeah, interesting that you're saying that. We had AJ Brown on our team last year.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. The running back was and has been insane. The wide receiver is insane. The O-line's insane. Everybody's great except the one guy. The other guy's good, like you said. He's a good player.
Look at Brody Z. Brody Z's correct. Old heads don't like being wrong. Boy, you and I know that, my friend.
My friend, I'm never wrong.
As he proves your super chat in one sentence.
I'm never wrong. It's called adjustments. Like I'm like the Vic Fangio of sports talk. Adjustments.
I like it. Good stuff, Sills. Marcus Williams checks in. Eat crow, Sills. Birds got the W. Eagles have the number one defense and a top 5 offense. Hurts is 10th in QBR and 7th in passer rating. Feed Barkley.
Hey, congratulations, Marcus. They're continuing to prove me wrong and show me they're not the shitty team they were a year ago. Keep it up. It's November 24th. Hope you enjoy your turkey.
Good stuff. One more super chat, and then I'll get your final thoughts, Stills, before I let you get out of here. Clary Voy says, Stills, make sure you have your knee pads on when you speak of Allen. Barkley is Eagles MVP and league MVP. Stills, you have something on your lip when you talk about Allen.
Yeah, you know what that's called? That's called truth, justice, and the Big Sills way. Hoss, no one's voting for Barkley. Now, wait a minute. I'll say something else about.
I think you're wrong. I think people are gonna. I think he's gonna earn some people.
You know why they might? Because of the way he was handled in New York and the way they shit on him in New York out the door. That might get some people going like this, man, because he is proving everyone wrong on what he had in New York. By the way, like I said, he's never been this guy in his entire career, and all of a sudden he's this guy now. It's making New York look so bad. The voters in New York may actually vote for him. Gary Myers may give his MVP vote to the guy.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Light skinned Chris says, I got 28-21 Rams. How you doing?
That's funny. That's
one
funny.
more. I want to get these guys because they're all still in here. I'm going to get to all super chats, but I'll try and get to as many as I can with Sills. What do y'all think will happen in New York if the Eagles win the chip and Barkley is a Super Bowl MVP? Suicide watch? Question mark?
God. Hey, by the way, Ben, I don't know how Joe Schoen and Brian Dable. I think those guys are coaching for their jobs because there's no way you can come out of that unscathed, man. I mean, dude, you've let Daniel Jones go. You whacked him. You gave him $150 million, and then you let Barkley go for $7 million. Come on, man. I don't know how you survive that.
All right, Sills, good stuff, man. Before I let you get out of here, what are your final takes in this game? I know we had a lot of debate today. I know, all jokes aside, the Birds are now winners of 7 straight. They're 9-2. They're well at the top of the NFC East. I think that's now done and dusted after the Commanders lost today to the Cowboys. Another Big Z prediction that they were going to come back to earth.
Doing victory laps on November 24th. I love it.
Oh, no, I'm taking no victory lap on me saying that the Commanders are going to come down.
Don't lose anybody else, kid.
What's that?
You lost Brandon Graham tonight. Don't lose anybody else.
Nah, you're right, man. You're right. I'm concerned. I was more talking about that I said to people, the Commanders are 7-2, but give them a second here. And they came back to earth. They've lost now 3 straight. But
of course, that could never happen to the Eagles. You lose a couple players.
It won't. It could. It won't.
Okay. All right. You're like it didn't last. Okay. All right. Hey, yeah, no, it's all right. I got it, man, because that's how the league works. Everybody's great. No, everybody has adversity but Philly. Got it.
Good stuff. Any final thoughts before I let you go?
Honestly,
Corona clock.
That was one of the most historic performances on a national stage like that.
Mm-hmm. His
Quickness, his tenacity, his leadership. I thought he was just absolutely great. I thought AJ, without having, by the way, Barkley has done something that Miles Sanders and also DeAndre couldn't do. If you lose a player in that wide receiving core, he could cover for those guys, man. I mean, he is a force even catching the football. I mean, the way he plays, I'll tell you this too. The thing that I was impressed with Hurts, once again, getting out on the perimeter and with his legs, breaking down those third downs. I thought there were some timely throws that he had too. The one to the back of the end zone to AJ, that was a great throw. That tap toe back there was a nice throw. Look, he doesn't have to do it. Jalen Hurts doesn't have to be special. He just can't be a disaster. And when he's not a disaster and he plays like that, an efficient ball, they have a shot. There's no doubt. As long as that defense continues to improve and get better, and those linebackers continue to play the way they will, this is now going to come down to what kind of roster you have in January. That was a big takeaway. That was the biggest takeaway game so far this year, was that game tonight.
Yep, I agree. No doubt about it. All right, Big Sills, go maybe have a couple extra Coronas tonight because, your boy Big Z is not going to take it easy on you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, really?
Get some rest. Get ready for the week. Maybe have a couple extra Coronas and take a lap, kid.
See, guys, I want you to do me a favor.
Wrong again.
See this? I want you guys to take a lot of ibuprofen tomorrow for my show 2 to 6. You're going to need it for your headache when you come aboard and listen to what I got to say tomorrow. How you doing?
How is this dude gonna draw?
Oh, what? Not drum up. I'm going to tell you what I saw, because I'm going to go just like this. Man, everyone was great but one guy. We'll leave it there. How you doing? Hey,
you're wrong though, and you're wrong.
Jalen
was fine. Was good tonight.
He was fine.
He made clutch third down throws several times to AJ Brown.
It was great. No, he was spectacular. No, I mean,
goodbye. Somebody DoorDash sells an extra six-pack. He's going to
hold on for a minute. Let's see how many. Oh, he threw 22 passes. Look at this. This is fantastic. Perfectly. Hey, by the way, before I get out, what they do? You're throwing a ball now between 14 and 20 times, which is good. How many rushing attempts did you have in this ball game? 45. Staying right where Big Sills wants you, right in the 40s. Make sure you double up the passing attempts because your quarterback take the opportunity of turnovers away. How you doing? All right, we're good. We're rocking.
Oh, God.
Hey, by the way, really great win, though.
Yeah,
really a great win.
7 straight now. All right, Sills, good stuff, man. I'll catch you later.
All right, brother, I appreciate it. Guys, we'll catch you tomorrow 2 to 6 on the National Football Show. Buckle up and be safe. Zander, thank you, brother.
Great stuff, Big Sills. Best show on YouTube tomorrow, 2 to 6 Eastern. Make sure you guys tune in, and we appreciate Big Sills. It's now time for the post-game show. It's already 1:10 in the morning, everybody, but the Birds are winners of 7 straight. Saquon Barkley has a historic night. By the way, what a good little debate there at the open. You're winning when both Sills and John have to take personal shots at me to try and get me off my game. They were both so flustered at Saquon Barkley's dominance. They were both flustered at the dominance. Good stuff, everybody. I'm going to take a commercial break. When we come back, I'll send the link out to get a couple people on. I don't have too many people tonight. I got the 8 a.m. show in the morning, so we'll do it for a little bit. I'm going to read some more super chats, and then we'll get a couple people up to get the voice of the fan in here. And then once we are done that, I'm going to wrap it up pretty quick. So I want to thank everybody, though, for being here, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button, and I appreciate each and every one of you for all the support and even sticking through what went on in the hour number 1 of the show, where John and Sills could not take it, me and giving my praise to Saquon Barkley, which I had a lot of fun doing. By the way, Senor says Big Z won that debate easily. Well, Senor, the stats were on my side tonight. They were on my side tonight, no doubt about it. Dazzy, good to see you in here, man. Chip Snyder, thanks for being here, brother. Saban going to Michigan? No. Please don't do that. I love you. I love Saban, and I hate Michigan. Don't let it happen, Chip. All right, let's get to a break. When we come back, the post-game show coming up next, everybody.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The following is a real testimonial from the father of a young injured victim.
I didn't think she was going to make it.
Major Perry's daughter was the victim of a horrific accident caused by someone else's negligence.
If you don't find the right counselor, law firm that you're looking for, you will get lost in the wilderness.
Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Bianculli Law Firm at 215-458-2222 and find out why they say, "We got this."
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
We noticed that there was mold creeping into our basement about a year and a half ago, and wanted to make sure that we were getting rid of the problem permanently. We actually reached out to several different contractors to get it resolved, and actually 2 of them recommended DryTech to us as a long-term solution. Other than the noise factor, we wouldn't even know that there was work being done on the basement level. It's really been a clean process for us.
Score and save this football season on your car insurance. Before the next game, save up to 40% on your auto insurance policy. That's right, 40% savings. Call an audible this season and contact the Del Val Insurance Group. They're an advocate for you, not an insurance company. That means they'll get you the right coverage and save you up to 40%. Call managing partners Fran or Jim of Del Val Insurance, 215-354-0122, or score and save at dvigi.com. dvigi.com.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Welcome back in, everybody, to the JAKIB Postgame Show here. Birds get the win 7 straight now. They win 37-20 tonight, moved to 9-2 on the year, and well in control of the NFC East. Saquon Barkley goes absolutely off. 26 carries for 255 yards, 2 touchdowns along of 72, and he also had 4 catches for 47 yards in the passing game. Good for 302 yards for Saquon Barkley. But hey, who's counting? Jalen Hurts tonight, guys. This is where I just don't understand how you could say he didn't have a good night tonight. I mean, I think people are I think part of the problem with Jalen Hurts, and I've been guilty of this at times, is people want him to be something he's not. He is not going to look like Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or Jared Goff or Brock Purdy or Baker Mayfield or any other of these quarterbacks. He is his own style, and he went 15 of 22 for 179 and a touchdown tonight and only took one sack. I thought he had a great game. I think that's what Jalen needs to do in order for this team to win. When you have a great running game, when you have a great defense, and when you're more physical than almost every team you'll play, you need your quarterback to not turn the ball over, to manage the game properly, to get your team into the right plays, and to be a good leader. And that's what he is. Jalen Hurts is a great leader and a great winner. This team isn't built that he needs to be this superstar. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Even when Big Sills comes on tomorrow and he tells you your quarterback sucks. One, he doesn't suck. And two, we don't need him to be this elite, insane player. We have a great football team. We have a great defense. We have a great offensive line. We have great receivers. We have a great defensive line. And when Jalen doesn't turn the ball over, which, by the way, you heard the stat tonight if you were listening to the TV broadcast, Chris Collinsworth said it. In the last 6 or 7 games, Jalen Hurts has only had 1 or 2 turnover-worthy plays. Not turnovers. Turnover-worthy plays. He's protecting the ball that good. Now, I was critical of Jalen earlier in the year, but you gotta keep it real. You gotta call a spade, or at least how you see it. And Jalen's been great in the last 7 weeks, and he's a big part of the reason this team has now won 7 straight. Excellent stuff from quarterback one. Excellent stuff from the team as a whole. And as I mentioned, 7 straight, 37-20 win, and they're 9-2 on the year. I mean, this team wins a lot, guys. This team wins a lot, man. Be grateful, because most teams in the NFL don't win as much as we win. We win a lot. I mean, we are a big winning organization. I'm going to read a couple super chats, then I'm going to send the link out, and I'll get a couple of you guys up. I don't know how long we will go tonight. Probably at least another 20, 30 minutes. But we will see how long we go. I don't have all night. I got to get ready. I got some work to do, post-production. Got to pull clips. Got to make highlights. Got to get ready for the morning shows. I'm not complaining about it, but I'm just telling you about what I got going. Mad Bird, you were at the game, my friend. How was it? How was SoFi? Looked like the Eagles fans took over as usual. Boy, that stadium, though. How about that stadium, everybody? SoFi Stadium is unbelievable. I mean, it's really a spectacle. It's beautiful. It's not just inside. It's the outside. And I love when they do the camera coming back from a commercial break, and they show the outside where it shows the whole state. It's really, really beautiful. Brian, good to know you were there too, man. Awesome stuff. 90% Eagle fans. Mad Bird says loved it. Great stuff, Brian. I saw you put in that you missed the debate at the start of the show. You're going to want to go back and watch that, Brian. And believe me, I think it'll be worth your time. I was calling Sills and John out. They were coming at me. It was Sills and John were teaming up, which you don't see often. Those two teaming up on me. It was great. It was freaking great. I loved it. Nosty Beach checks in. In 2017, the Eagles lost a key player for the season in LA. Yes, they did. That would have been none other than quarterback Carson Wentz. What happened in 2017 again, Nosty? We went on to win the Super Bowl. I like that. That's a good comp. You lose Brandon Graham out there tonight. Tough loss for the Eagles, losing Brandon Graham. But good comp. I like it, Nosty. Thanks for bringing that up. D.O. checks in. Eagles defense was top 10 3 out of last 4 seasons. Barkley trending historic. You're right. 100% D.O. Defense has been great. It's something different about this defense, though, this year. D.O., right? Like last year, they were a top 10 unit, but it didn't feel like they were. I don't know if they were, by the way, last year. They weren't, right? They fell off at the end. I know they were top 10 earlier in the year, but I think they fell off toward the end. But boy, this defense just feels a little different. Seems like points are just so hard to come by for other teams when they're playing the Eagles. I mean, they nearly held them to under 20 again tonight, and the garbage time touchdown is what put them over ultimately. Keith Johnson, good to see you, brother. Defense was lights out from the second quarter on. Yep, no doubt. Those adjustments come in big with Vic Fangio. Caleb Brandon checks in. Good to see you, Caleb. McCaffrey had 3 1K season in 9 years. Barkley is now at 4 and arguably having a year CMC did in 23. He's having a better year than McCaffrey did last year. He is. What did McCaffrey? I think McCaffrey had what? Like, I know he had. I think he had 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving. So people love that dual threat nature. But I don't know, man. What Saquon Barkley is doing right now is historic. It's unbelievable to watch. Joe High checks in. Good to see you, Joe. Zander creating conflict so this doesn't become a fireside chat. Well, Joe, when they win a game like that, you could get into a boring post-game show until 1 a.m, my friend. I had to put it up. I had to get them going a little bit. Drew says, put on the gloves, men. Yeah, we needed to. We were duking it out earlier in the show. Sydney, it's okay. Eagles win. Agreed. Rashid, I've been telling John about Saquon all season. Yes, you have, Rashid. Appreciate it, brother. Sig Lord, even Nick Wright admitted he was wrong about Saquon. I actually think Nick Wright does a pretty good job. I know Philly fans are critical of him because he's hard on Philly teams. You got to remember, guys, national talking heads love being hard on Philly because the fans react, and that means ratings for their shows. So sometimes it's just business decision, and I understand that because I obviously have a channel and I cover the NFL and the Eagles. So I understand how that cookie crumbles, but I think Nick Wright does a pretty good job at Sports Talk. Big Fish says, like this for Barkley. Yeah, like the show for Barkley. No doubt about it. Lord's Grace, what does John mean when he says he can't run for 255 every week? The quarterback blows out loud, so he has no choice but to run for 200. Lord's Grace, the quarterback does not blow out loud. Come on, dude. That's a ridiculous comment. Is he not what you want him to be? Maybe, but he doesn't blow out loud. That's a dumb take. Big Fish, Little Boat. If Sills was playing, Barkley would have had 450 tonight. Yeah. I guess you're chirping Sills' defensive line prowess. I already read that one, Marcus. Thank you, brother. All right, that's it. I'm going to read a couple more and I'll send the link. Broke McCoy records, crazy work. Yeah, Saquon's insane, dude. Saquon is just insane. All right, here comes the link for the people that want to join me. You keep it real. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes out. We'll see how Birds 365 goes in the morning. Johnny Mac's going to be upset with me. I just dropped the link in for the chat. So for those who want to join on the post-game show, I will bring you up. I won't get everybody. Well, it depends how many people join. I'll try and get as many as I can. I tend to become a man of the people who will go late into the hours of the night to talk to the great people on JAKIB Nation. I'm going to my boy first and foremost tonight. Okay. And if you guys watched last game or the last post show, you know that when we brought him on screen, it was crickets. I think he fell asleep with the phone on his chest or something. He was laying in bed listening to the great JAKIB Postgame Show, and he fell asleep. Let's go to him now. O-line guru, the man, the myth, the legend, Caleb. Joining me now. What's going on, my friend? How you doing, man?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Good, man. Thanks for joining in today. Good to have you back on the show. What'd you see out there, man? Saquon Barkley, a historic day. Feels like you've been waiting for that for a while, right?
I already knew it. I heard it. But let me tell you what the thing that's unfair. This whole narrative that Seal said it a lot, man, and John. Oh, we didn't see this at New York. That's not true. Saquon been showing it. New York O-line was one of the worst in the NFL. I don't know how you don't put that in consideration. And CMC and Derrick Henry has always been in more favorable situations. Taylor Lewan and then all them boys over there at Tennessee had really good O-lines, and a few times, and also with who did I say? CMC was in a really good situation at San Fran. O-line, one of the best also. So I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, just to say you couldn't see it and not consider the situations, I think is just a little bit unfair.
Yeah, I mean, look, if someone wants to say they'd rather have another guy, okay, that's fine. But if you're going to, I mean, Saquon has proven he's that caliber of player. If anybody's going to deny that,
he was a generational prospect. He was a generational prospect in college. Like he's just proving like you got to put me in a good situation, and he's in a good situation now. So
Yeah,
shout
no
out to
doubt. What other
Saquon.
takeaways you have, man, from the game? Eagles defense is showing out like crazy. I think Jalen's playing great football right now, efficient football, not turning the ball over. What other takeaways did you have from the game tonight? Oh, did I lose him? I might have lost Caleb there for a second. Let me see if I can get Caleb back up.
You got me
Oh,
right here.
I got you, man.
There we go. My takeaways is Milton Williams, and I've been really high on Milton Williams for years. I got old tweets on Milton Williams from years ago, and I got old breakdowns on Milton Williams from years ago. He's one of them ones, and I always compare him to how Javon Hargrave was at Pittsburgh, and he goes somewhere else. I hope that doesn't be our Javon Hargraves. He goes somewhere else and really even grows into more. But Milton Williams is one of them, and he's been one of them. I like what you said. Maybe move him around on the outside. He can does that as well. Just bring him in more. Just figure out how to move it around. He's a big time player. Fangio is one of them ones, man. Like that's my big miss of the year. I think some people need to admit they missed on Saquon, and I'll admit, man, I was very critical of Fangio. I was tired of the Fangio system because of the other DCs before him, and he really has shown he's the creator of this. Can't nobody imitate it like him, and he has shown that he's willing to make adjustments. We got the right personnel in. I believe in our linebacker core. And Kobe Dean is great with the pressure. He's very physical. He's great at the point of attack. He hits the backside gaps very well. He's a heck of a ball player. Zach Bond is balling. The loss to BG is very, very critical for us. I mean, it's a very, very bad blow. Darius Slay, he looks kind of injured. I think we need to sit him down a little bit. I think we need to sit him
He
down a
gets
little
banged
bit.
up, man, like every game.
We need to sit him down, get him ready for the postseason. I think that we
I
need
know
to get a
people
little.
like to pick on Slay, but you see that drop off once he went out, man?
Yeah, for sure. But also, I think,
Picking on Isaiah Rodgers, man.
and it hasn't always been like that though. I think this game was very situational.
Yeah,
And we
well,
have
you
to,
know what I think happened? I tweeted it out. I think Isaiah got in his head after that.
PI a little bit, and we also got to realize Matthew Stafford one of the best, baby. Like, what are we doing?
That's true.
Matthew Stafford putting Nakua, and then also with Sean McVay, they're gonna dial it up, and they put Nakua in good, favorable situations to where he had leverage on Rodgers as well. They do that. They're the best in the game at that, and I understand they peaked at him a little bit. I still believe in them. I think we need to get Keller Ringo out there a little bit more just because of Slay. I think we need to get Slay reps back a little bit just because he's getting older, saving for the postseason. Our offense, we're fine, like I said. I think we keep worrying about this pass game. I think all of us, but I do think, especially some of the people saying earlier, I think that we was a little bit too hard on the pass game. We fine, man. We good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Look, Jalen's been better. I mean, early in the year, I could understand because there was a lot of turnovers. So it's like those are going to be hard to overcome.
Because we was out of rhythm. Because we was
it's
out of
true.
rhythm.
Yeah.
Because we was out of rhythm.
It's true.
That's why you got to keep that in mind. When we're in rhythm, we're always good. So I'm not saying that he's, once again, winning is a quarterback stat and he's a winner. I'm always going to prefer the winning over the elaborate passes and the elaborate passing yards. I'm always going to take that. Joe Burrow and all them. Joe Burrow has Jamar Chase. He had Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Mixon for years. And all I'm saying is Jalen Hurts is winning. Joe Burrow needs to win regardless of the situation as well. And I would prefer the winner every time.
No doubt.
That's why it's proven.
Good stuff, man. Thank you for joining in tonight. I'll talk to you again soon. All right, brother?
Go Birds, and we're contenders. And I'm at Baltimore next week. I'm at the game next week.
Oh, that's right, man. Enjoy the game, all right? Hopefully I can talk. I don't know if you probably won't be in after, but enjoy that game, all right, brother?
For sure, man. You keep killing it, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Good stuff there from Caleb Brandon, O-line guru. Love talking to him. Good to have him back on. Let's keep rolling in here. Going to Joe Whipp. Joe, coming to you next, brother. Good to get my man Joe Whipp in here. Joe, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
Hey, Zander. You asked for a score on Friday, and I posted 34-14, and you called me out and told me I was nuts.
I think I did. I think I remember that, Joe Whipp. Joe, you were right on the dollar, 37-20, and it really should have been 37-14.
Yeah, they dominated them.
Yeah, they did.
I think they're going to beat Baltimore.
You do?
Yeah, I think Baltimore is going to have I think tomorrow night's game against the Chargers is going to take some of the stuffing out of Baltimore.
That's right. That Chargers team is good. They're physical.
Yeah. So, man, they have to fly back. The Eagles will be home for a day. I think the Eagles will take care of Baltimore.
Yeah, good. That's good takeaway. What'd you make of Saquon Barkley's day, man? 300 total yards, an unbelievable day.
Well, he's a neighbor of a friend of mine, and I was talking to him about it, and he says he can't believe how nice of a guy Saquon is, and his performance on the field. Some of that, like John or Sills talk about the gaping holes. You see what he does when he sees a hole?
I know.
And how he can go to his left or right. Like,
look, I love giving our offensive line credit too, but I don't know why they have to take everything off Saquon. I'm like, guys, the guy is clearly generational talent.
Yeah, even with the holes, he's doing stuff that other running backs can't dream about doing. He reminds me a little bit of, in some respect, to like Barry Sanders, who you could play Barry Sanders, you'd stop him, and then next thing you know, bang, he's 90 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So he has that kind of ability. He's spectacular. Hurts was good. The only issue I had with Hurts was on one of the drives where they had a field goal. He when the ball he threw out of the end zone, he had nobody even covered AJ Brown. I could have thrown the ball to him, and he was in the end zone all by himself, and he didn't see him.
Yeah, always going to be a couple of those in the game.
Other than that, I thought he played well. He ran when he had to. Although that play with 7 seconds at the end of the first half, I don't know what the hell that was.
I don't know. Did he check into that? Was that a Sirianni? I mean, what was that?
Yeah, I think he was checking into those plays, and none of them worked. The called runs worked, but those plays he was getting hammered. And that's the only thing I can think of is that he checked into that, because that made no sense at all. I'm sorry about BG. He's an all-time Eagles player. I go back into the early 60s watching him.
Yeah, he is. He's an all-timer, man.
And it's a shame, but maybe they can get Cox back out of retirement.
Yeah, not bad. I haven't thought of that one yet. Maybe we'll see what happens.
Give Cox a call.
Yeah, we'll see what they end up doing there. It's going to be interesting to see, because that edge rusher position is light, even without Hufflepuff. I mean, we need Hufflepuff. I never thought I'd say that, but we really need Bryce Huff right now. Joe, thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you again soon. All right, brother? All right, thank you, man. Good stuff there from Joe Whipp. Love talking to Joe. Akbar, coming to you, my friend. Let's go. Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Akbar, what's going on, my friend? How you doing?
Yo, my man, what's up, Z? What's going on with you, man?
Not much, man. What'd you think, man? 37-20, 7 straight, 300 plus for Barkley, 15-22 for Hurts, number 1 defense in the NFL. I mean, what's going through your mind, Akbar?
Yo, all I think about is like Saquon being on the field. Like, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? And then the crowd just goes, Saquon, Saquon, Saquon. Yo, that shit was crazy today, dog. Like, I want to start off by saying, this is the best offense I ever seen play in Philly my whole life, and I'm really glad that it's going down like that. Like, I grew up watching Green Bay, the Cowboys, San Fran, the Redskins, the Giants to some extent. Like, these teams were fucking awesome when I was a kid, right? And to see our offense, to see Barkley, Jalen Hurts, the offensive line, to see our defense the way it is, but really you can't really say there's no, like, superstar player becoming superstars except for Slay. Slay, I want to talk about Slay for 1 second too. That boy Slay, man, he showed me something, because I always thought he was soft. But he went up against a giant today. Like, I don't know how familiar you are with cartoons, but he went up against the juggernaut tonight, and he knocked that motherfucker down. He didn't shy away. He went at the bull. So even though he got hurt, big ups to him. Like,
he might have got his clock clean, but he went up against him.
He went up against him. That was some strong shit he did, and I give him mad props for that. The other thing I wanted to tell you, I wanted to get your take on this as well. We need to stop this we didn't play nobody narrative. The reason why I'm going to say it is because when you look at the teams that we played, when you watch them play each other, it don't look the same. Like, these motherfuckers is like, look at, did you see the check in on the Dallas game today?
Yeah, I watched it. Yep.
big up to Dallas for beating the Redskins today. Big ups to y'all. I appreciate that. But dig this though.
I will echo that sentiment, by the way.
So dig this. So dig how they first of all, for all the dick eating Jaden McDaniels cheerleaders out there, the Bull lost to Cooper Rush today. How about that? How about that? How you like them apples?
He doesn't look good either. Dude, that's 3 straight losses for that team.
That's 3 straight. And all we been hearing was, McDaniels, he's the next coming of who? The next coming of who? The next coming of nobody. He's a nobody. See you later. And you were right. We're going to knock him off the second time. I don't see nobody fucking with us. But what's your sentiment on that? Like, how do you feel about, the first, I guess 8 games and everybody saying that we ain't playing nobody, but we beating everybody. And in my opinion, we doing it in a real comfortable fashion right now. What say you?
I don't have any issue with the schedule. What are you going to do? It seems like, Akbar, there's 3 teams in the NFL you can play that people will care about. If you beat the Chiefs, if you beat the Bills, if you beat the Lions. That's not how the NFL works. First off, we don't make the schedule. We can only play who's on it, and we keep demolishing teams. So I never put that much stock in it. Look, why does everybody use the phrase any given Sunday in the NFL? Because everybody's freaking good. Everybody is good. I mean, you just saw how many times have we watched in the last 2 or 3 weeks teams with 2 wins, 3 wins, beating up on teams or winning games they shouldn't win. When they do it, nobody cares or everybody says it's a fluke. When we beat up on them and knock them into the turf, everybody tries to criticize us. I don't have any issue with it, man. You got to beat who's in front of you, and the Birds are doing it right now in a big way.
Right on.
Yeah, what do you think of Brandon Graham being out? That's a big loss, man. Josh Sweat got banged up. I'm no Bryce Huff fan, but now all of a sudden you kind of need him. He might be out for the year. Brandon Graham out for the year. You're now relying on Nolan Smith, who you famously put on the bum juice list a couple of weeks ago, and Jalix Hunt, a 3rd-round project player. That's who your edge rushers are right now.
Okay. Before I heard the news, I felt like, I was already holding up the trophy because I don't see nobody messing with us at all. Like we're the team to beat. And I don't see nobody.
Don't hold up the trophy. Yeah, you got to play the games. But shit, I mean, you're right.
Yeah, but I don't. I seen us winning the Super Bowl just like I seen it in 2017. I seen it after the Green Bay game, and the reason why it was so early with them because we had Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz is way better than Jalen Hurts. You never know what kind of Jalen Hurts you're gonna get. But today, Jalen balled out, in my opinion. Like I said in the chat earlier this week, I said, matter of fact, I think it was Friday. I said that if Jalen runs early, we're gonna blow him out. The reason why I said that because the last game, he started running the second half. He didn't really take off on the first half, so it was like kind of stagnated. So when I seen him take off the first half, I was like, oh yeah, it's about to be that. But to answer your question about BG, that was a real blow. That hurt. Like, because who else do we got? You know what I'm saying? Like first of all, the Bull been playing lights out all season. He's been playing a all-pro season for a 36-year-old guy. The Bull look fucking awesome, man. And today, like, BG always make a play. And in my opinion, he gets stronger as the offense goes. Like, every time the offense puts up 7 points, it seems like he get meaner. He just want to, get 3 and out. Like, he just want to get off the field.
I know what you mean. He feeds off it a little bit.
He feeds off of it. So not to have him on the field, that's going to hurt us tremendously. It's going to set us back. And then Slay been balling out this year too. Like, I mean, I know he be all hugged up with Michael Parsons. They be taking bubble baths and shit. You know what I'm saying? be hugging each other from the back and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all right, don't go there. Come on.
I'm fucking around. I'm joking, but I'm just saying though, like, you know what I mean? Like the bull been playing really, really good ball.
He's good. He's been good in coverage. And look what it looked like when he left.
Like
I
you
like
said
Isaiah
earlier,
Rodgers, but
that was real. That was
He got
real.
beat
Like
up.
he got beat up by Isaiah Rodgers was a big fall off. Like in my opinion, I thought he was intimidated by Puka.
Well, yeah, I think he really got in his head, man. After that PI, you could see visibly, you could see it on his face that he had gunshot eyes where it was blank. And then the next play, he got beat on the touchdown pass. And then the very next drive, they came out, boom, right back to Puka, and he gave up 30 yards on that fourth down play. Remember? I mean, same guy. Went right at Isaiah. I thought he got in his head a little bit.
I think so too. You can see it in his body language. Like I didn't think he wanted to tackle Puka. Like Puka is a physical
tough dude to tackle. Yeah,
he's a tough dude. Like and Isaiah, in my opinion, he looked like he ain't want no parts of that shit. Like, but we gonna see how it would look next week. What do you feel about next week? How do you see us coming out in that game?
You know, I think the Ravens are a good team. I think Lamar Jackson's probably playing like one of the best players in the world right now. But they're a beatable team, Akbar. They got 4 losses that really, a couple of those losses they should not have. And that shows you that they're lacking a little bit of consistency. And you know what I think we're really going to beat them is I think we're going to be more physical than them. I know they're a physical team. They got Derrick Henry. They got Lamar. But they can be cutesy at times too. And when you can be physical like the Eagles are all game, dude, most teams by the third quarter, they're done. You could see the Rams look done when Saquon Barkley went off for that first play of that third quarter and they panned to the Rams bench. Them dudes were sitting there like ducks on a pond. They looked like they wanted none of it, man. And I think that's what's going to be the Eagles' biggest thing this year is you got to double down on that physicality. I don't know who I'm picking yet next week, but I like the Birds' chances. At the end of the day, Akbar, I'm not worried about it though. Because we've controlled our destiny up to this point that we've already put ourselves in a good position. Now, if we want to get that first seed, though, we're going to want to get the win. I think Lions got at least 1 or 2 more losses. Might seem unlikely, but if you look at their schedule, they got to play the Bills. They got to play the Niners. They got a couple games that they have that are tough.
The Niners is cooked. Can we
agree that? They're cooked, but they could be a team that could upset the Lions late in the year.
Nah.
Yeah,
it was another team. It was another team in there that you said that I think gonna give them a problem. I don't think it's gonna be the Bills. The Bills. That's only going. In my opinion, they only gonna lose one more time. Now
they gotta play the Packers, the Bills, and the Vikings, and the.
The Packers look tough today.
I mean, that's a tough stretch. I mean,
the Packers look tough today. They kind of look like us in a little bit.
Packers are streaky. They're streaky. Like at times they look real good.
They look physical today. That boy Josh Jacobs, he looked real good today.
But he's no Saquon Barkley. Phil's can miss me with that shit. I like Josh Jacobs, but he's not Saquon.
Word. Listen, Saquon Barkley. I'm all for it. Like I wish I was in here with you when you was going at it with him, because I'm gonna go back to the analogy that I gave a couple weeks ago about Saquon Barkley and AJ Brown, right? Anytime you fighting, you gotta fill the motherfucker out. Like you gotta throw jabs, you know what I mean? So you can check the distance. You know what I mean? You want to see what they got. You know what I mean? What kind of power they dealing with. You got to go to the body. That's how you soften, because the body don't move. The head move, the body. You know what I'm saying? So you catch them in the body, you hit them in the right spot, you're gonna make them fart. And the Eagles been making making people fart like a motherfucker today. Like not today, all season long. Like I'm saying, so you take that. You know what I mean? Then you got AJ Brown. You coming over the top. You can't just come into a game say, "Oh, AJ Brown is our best player, so we just going bombs over Baghdad to AJ Brown." And just you can't go into a fight just throwing haymakers. You got to set that shit up. Saquon Barkley is the setup. You know what I mean? Not only can he hit you with body shots, the bull can
He could
hit
throw
you
a
with
haymaker too. Yeah.
He can go, yeah, he can do all that. You know what I mean? And he catching out the backfield. So how you gonna say the bull? How you gonna say the bull is not the best player on the team when he's catching balls, running balls, blocking, running 200? Yo, he looked like fucking like it was years ago. The Bull Marshall Faulk. He played for San Diego State. He had a game like him in the NFL. Like the Bull, me and you discussed this weeks ago. I mean, I already acclaimed him the best player of the team.
Yeah, you did that. You did that a while ago. I actually didn't believe it. I didn't agree with you when you said it. You said it like week 4 or week 5.
Man, I'm a hell of an analysis, man. You got.
I got to run, bro. I got to get to more people. It's getting late here. Final thoughts on the game before I let you run.
Oh man, my final thoughts of the game. All the slander we heard about Sirianni, Howie, Jeffrey, Jalen, the draft, the off-season picks. Too. I was really hard on Jalen because Jalen was playing like shit. He was playing like bum juice.
No, you're right. You said turnovers in 4 games. It was bum juice. You're not wrong.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So, but I mean, the bull, he playing lights out for what he is right now. Like he doing everything we need. All we need him to do is not turn the ball over. You know what I mean? Take off when you need to take off. You know what I mean? And you know, just play with your head above water and don't get caught out there with the sharks. Just, you know what I mean? Just do what he's doing, man. And he's doing a good job, man. Now, the defense, though, I am concerned because BG was a major factor, major factor. Now we're going with Nolan Smith. And, I mean, like you said, we got to find out what's going on with Josh Sweat. And, I mean, he's been a force to be reckoned with. Milton Williams is a force to be reckoned with. Now, I don't know about giving him up now. Maybe we give up Jordan Davis instead. Nah, man.
Yeah, Milton's definitely more versatile. All right, brother. We'll see how it all plays out. Should be a good game next week versus the Ravens. Good talking to you, brother.
Likewise. You take care, homie. Kill him this week, dog. Kill him this week.
Oh, I'm coming at him.
Sills called me Mike Missinelli, man. He said anti-Sills. You Mike Missinelli.
Fuck,
man, I love you, dog. I can't say what I want to say. You my guy, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man.
All right,
man. Good stuff. Good stuff there from Akbar. Let's keep rolling. I love talking to all the people in JAKIB Nation. Akbar is right, though. He said a lot of that shit a long time ago about this team. So good stuff for him. Hot Sport coming to you, my friend. Let's get my man up here.
Hey, on, my friend? How's it going, Big D?
Good, man. Going good. Birds are 9-2, 7 straight.
My God. You know what?
I mean, how could it not be going good, right?
Man. Look, first of all, I had all these notes written down.
Fuck them.
Nah. Oh, my goodness. Zander. Look, I want to kind of rewind back to that Giants game. Remember I came on your show, and of course you thought I was drunk and everything. But I did say something very important. Whatever, you can believe what you want to believe.
Don't try and don't throw a fast one by me, my guy.
That's not the topic of conversation, Xander. That wasn't my point.
Go ahead.
My point here is I said Saquon Barkley should be the MVP back then. And I said it as well in my own content on my own post-match reels. And I was saying that he should be the MVP. And everybody, dismissed it. You dismissed it. You were like, you looked at me side-eyed, like, really, MVP? Is that a bit of an overreact? You didn't say it, but you said it with me with your eyes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I got a list of people. Okay, I do have a list still. A list of people. I was really scrolling through the Twitter as the game was finishing of national pundits who now are saying that Saquon Barkley should be the MVP. Should I even read them off? I don't have. This is probably not everybody. It's all the ones I saw.
I'm sure there's more.
Stephen A. Smith was saying that he thinks Barkley should be MVP. Emmanuel Acho, Skip Bayless, Nick Wright, Chris Broussard. That's my list so far. I haven't seen all the other tweets, but
I saw Ryan Clark said the same. I think there's a couple more.
Look, for Dan to say he's not even going to be top 10, I think at this point it's wrong. He's going to clear over 2,000 yards. What he did today was an MVP moment. to go over 300 total yards as a running back, and no one's ever going to do that for the rest of the year. Like, we're talking about Adrian Peterson MVP levels that our boy is going through right now. And it's a real conversation, man. Like, it was so special. Honestly, it's a privilege for us, don't you think, to be able to turn on that TV and watch that guy go? Like, honestly, a lot of other fans in the league don't get to see it.
It is. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we're a little bit spoiled in Philly with how good our team. Dude, we win so much. It's crazy. I mean, most teams don't win like we win. We just win. By the way, who's on your NBA hat? Because you got random fans.
You know what?
Lakers?
The Bucks. No, the Bucks.
Oh my God, dude. You're fan. I can't keep up with your every time you're on here, you got a new hat on from a new team.
No, these are all my teams. Now you've got them all. You've got all my teams. You got all my teams. There's no one else is good.
I'm not 4 for 4. People in Philly get mad at me for that. I'm not 4 for 4. I hate the Flyers.
No, I know. I heard about you hating the Flyers.
I hate the Flyers.
Look, it's hard for me to go for LA teams, to be honest, except for the Dodgers, just because Dodgers are the GOAT.
About 2 weeks ago, you were rocking the Dodgers.
No. But the Lakers, I can't stand them. Clippers, I can't stand them. The Rams that used to be my team when I was a kid. I've got a lot of text messages to write to some of my uncles who are big Rams fans. Highlights, clips of Saquon going for 70 yards, and then Saquon going for 55 plus yards after that, like to close the game. Man,
what do you think of the loss of Brandon Graham? Man, that's a big one.
Oh, man, that was, to be honest, I kind of felt you. I was watching you. Your body language dropped just as Johnny Mack was saying that. I was the exact same way. I was like, what? Yeah.
He deflated me. Man. It deflated me.
Dude. We're like riding high. What we just saw on the TV screen.
I know.
That was our best performance all year. And then to know that was shock. I didn't think whatever he was going through was a big deal at the time.
I know. It just looked like a minor injury. Yeah, that took him out of the game. And he knew. I don't know how he knew, but he knew right away. I mean, he must have felt it.
Man, look, at the same time, though, look, I think this defense is getting younger. This team is getting younger. This is a chance now for some of those other guys to shine. Look, I think as long as Sweaty's all right, because he came out injured, you're gonna have Nolan, you got Sweaty. I think that's pretty solid. But the thing is, you got to be able to rotate those edge rushers.
No, did they give an update on Sweat?
I don't know. I haven't seen. I've been watching your show the whole time. So
yeah, I don't know. It's tough for me to follow this stuff after because I'm just obviously on here. So, and we didn't have John at the game this week.
Look, at the same time, we got a number one defense. Like, look, it's going to be hard, but as you said it really well. I think it's going to be a rallying cry now. Like, let's do this for BG. Like, honestly, I think that was BG's last game, and if that was, man, that was a special way to go out. And I think that he will end. And I said this before. And I feel less crazy saying it now, but I think he's going to go out holding that Lombardi, in street clothes. But man, I'm so excited.
I hope,
dude. I'm starting to sound less and less crazy as these weeks go on because I was saying Super Bowl and everyone's like, "Oh, calm down." We just beat the Giants, or at the Packers game, I was saying it like. Dude, this team is special. And by the way, I actually really had a bit of a laugh. I was watching your Twitter, and you were like, "Oh, our defense can't stop anything." And I'm like, "Oh, Zander, in 5 minutes, you're going to want to delete that tweet."
When, tonight?
Yeah, well, at the first few drives.
Early.
Look, you're just saying.
If you listened to Birds 365 last week, we said on there, they might start quick, and then Vic will adjust as he usually does. And he did, and it looked good toward the end. All right, brother, I got to run, man. I got a couple more people to get to.
Yeah. By the way, one last thing before I go. Next week's game, I'm so excited for. I was thinking about it. The physicality of us, the physicality of the Ravens. That's going to be a really, really fun ball game. And Dan's going to pick the Ravens, and we're going to make him eat Raven next week, not Crow.
Yeah,
their cousin, Raven. Okay. All right, see you, bud.
Yeah, they must be in the same body of animal or whatever, however the heck you would phrase that. I'm not good at that. All right, my friend. Good talking to you.
All right, see you, man.
See you, man. Good stuff there from a man, Hot Sport. Let's go. I got 2 left. Clary Voy riding the bench. Clary Voy checked in first, so I'm coming to him. Riding the bench. I'll get to you in a minute, brother. Clary Voy, what's going on, my friend?
Hey, what up, man? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. You look good, sound good, you feel good. I'm
Hey.
sure after that big win. What'd you take away from the 37-20 win tonight on Sunday Night Football?
Saquon Barkley. I've been talking about him since, man, maybe week 1, week 2. I've been saying it, screaming it. If I could scream it through all the chats, Saquon Barkley is the MVP. And I've been saying that for a minute. A.J. Brown, you notice he ain't talking about touches when you got Saquon on the field, right? I'm just saying he knows what is the MVP, and it ain't him. I'm just saying, man.
No, you're not wrong about that. What'd you take away from, we just talked about Brandon Graham. I'll go there. You lose him, that could impact how this defense looks. He's been playing really good. What do you make of the number 1 overall defense right now, and just the loss of Brandon Graham and what that could mean moving forward?
Man, losing Brandon Graham's a big, huge loss, man. But you know what? We got Colgate University, Jalen Hunt. You know what I'm saying? And he hasn't been playing terrible. And what's crazy is earlier this week,
He's been good. He's been solid, Felix.
Yeah, dude, I saw some stuff on Bleacher Report. It's like, yo, it's my time. Like, yo, I got drafted to play. And I saw this stuff and I was like, man, he's talking reckless. And all of a sudden I see this and I was like, it was meant to be. So you know what? I'm not as nervous as other people.
But they got to, dude. The problem is though, even if those guys play good, we don't have much rotation now.
You know what?
They're going to have to move Milton over there. Maybe they're going to have to put Vaughn over there in times. Like they're going to have to find something.
Dude, I hear you, man. We got Fangio who works some crazy shit because let's be honest, we've been playing the same scheme for.
Yeah, you're right.
We've been playing the same scheme for what 6-7 years. We've been having the backup band for a long time, but now we got the main band, and it's like, oh, you know what? This is how it's supposed to be. Yeah, all right, I got you, Fangio. It is what it is, and I've been discrediting that shit since the beginning. And then you roll into it, then it's like, man, Sills, he needs to eat his fucking crow when it comes to Howie, because Howie's been doing his thing, and you know what? And this motherfucker's probably watching right now. I'm talking to you, Sills, because he sits here drinking Corona, getting fucked up. I'm watching you. All right. I'm ready for this shit all this week because Howie has been doing this thing. And I've been hating.
I'm coming for Sills tomorrow. He doesn't know I'm coming for him tomorrow.
Dude, I've been hating on Howie for literally, honestly, since Sills, because I kind of opened my eyes on some things. But man, Howie, dude. You can't say anything when you get Saquon Barkley. You can't say anything when you got Braun. You know, what do you want from me? Like, all right, I'm an Eagles fan. Those 2 guys he picked up from the whatever, are going the fuck off. I can't tell you anything else,
Good
so
stuff.
I mean, how do you feel about everything? I see you're wearing the JAKIB gear again. That's good luck, by the way. I don't know if you noticed it. It's fucking good luck.
I don't take off JAKIB gear. People don't know. Like you could see me at any hour of the day. I got a shirt on, a t-shirt on, a sweatshirt on, a hat on. I've got all JAKIB gear. It's all I rock nowadays. Look, I got the beanie right here.
Dude, you're just ready for the Northeast right now. It's probably cold as shit up there right now.
Chilly out, so you gotta have the beanie when you gotta let the dog out.
Man, it's been cold here down in the South, dude. And I'm fucking.
Oh yeah, where are you? Where'd you say you were? Louisiana?
I'm fucking in Mississippi. Close enough. Yeah, it's been cold as shit here. It's been like 30s. I'm like, man, this reminds me of home. You know what I mean?
All right, brother. Good stuff, man. We'll see what ends up happening. Big game coming up next week, so it'll be interesting to see how this.
Man, regardless of how remember 2-1. Remember what Sil said, 2-1, and this team's on the path that they need to go. With him, he credits so much to the quarterback, and that shit don't fucking matter. Let's be honest, it doesn't mean a thing.
It matters for most teams right now.
No, not to Sills. It matters to the Eagles. They got a good defense, they good wideouts, and they got Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley stacked the box. No one can stop him. So guess what? When they stack the box overly, they go and pass it to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And Devontae didn't play tonight. You don't need a superstar quarterback. You don't need Josh Allen. You don't need fucking Sills over there in the corner on his knees. Say, oh, Josh Allen. It doesn't matter. Because right now, with this team, run the ball. If they stack the box too much, you pass it. And then guess what? They unstack the box, then you run the ball again. I don't understand.
Sounds simple when you say it like that.
No, but honestly, that is the dilemma that we're in right now. You don't need an all-star coach. Guess what? Nick Sirianni doesn't mean a fuck right now because guess what? All you do, they have 8 in the box, pass the ball. Guess what? They have 6 in the box, run the ball. He hit his head off the goalpost. Okay, now we kick the ball. That's all we're doing right now. This isn't rocket science. But for some reason, Sills is like, we need this expert fucking guy.
You know what Sills wants, Clary Foy? You know what Sills wants?
He wants Josh Allen.
He wants to be rent-free in your head, and it appears he is because we just won our 7th straight, and you're talking about Sills.
No. Why I say that is because I hope this motherfucker's watching me right now, so I can be rent-free in his head.
I don't know. He'd probably put in the chat if he was. He might be done with me for the night.
You know what?
What time is it in Cali right now? 11 p.m.?
It's 11 p.m. Is this past his nighttime? He's an old man.
I don't know. No, I think Sills is a later night guy. I'm not sure because he's in Cali. So everything that's 8 p.m. here is 5 o'clock.
So for me, it's 11 right now. All right. So all I can say is maybe at some time he'll see this and he'll be like, this is the motherfucker that says shit.
What are you in Central Time? What's it, 1 a.m. for you?
No. Yeah, I'm 1 a.m. right now.
Yeah, you're Central. All right. Good stuff, man. Thanks for checking in. I'll talk to you next week. All right, brother?
All right, man. I'll talk to you.
All right, good stuff, man. Good stuff from everybody. Let's get to my man, Riding the Bench podcast, Eagles podcast. Let's get him up here now. What's going on, my friend? Good to have you on the show. Birds win their 7th straight. Saquon Barkley, a historic night. What'd you think of the game tonight, my friend?
Oh, tonight was special, dude.
Yeah.
Tonight was special because, it's funny enough, I actually made an episode talking about this game, thinking that this was like a turning point for the year. Coming into Sunday Night Football, I thought this was the most important game of the year thus far. And putting the display that we saw with Saquon, the defense, and honestly, Jalen Hurts takes a lot of shit. I thought he was great tonight. I don't know why people were shitting on him tonight.
I thought he had a great night.
I thought he got the ball out of his hands quick. He threw with conviction. He saw I thought he played just fine.
I'm with you on that.
I thought this was the sharpest the offense actually looked all year, in my opinion. Even more than the Bengals, even more than Washington.
Yeah, because there were several key third downs that Jalen made big throws, and that's what you need. Like, we're not going to be this big passing offense, but when you need Jalen to make a throw, he's got to make the throw, and he did it all night tonight.
Yeah, and honestly, yardage is overrated in the NFL, especially when you have a defense that's constantly giving you short fields. And when you got a defense like Philly, the way they're playing right now, you're going to get short fields, and you're running the ball the way you do. Why the hell would I pass the ball if I'm getting 6 yards a fucking clip? Yeah. Honestly. And then Saquon Barkley, 300 yards rushing tonight. Utter domination. Like, I'm not going to throw the fucking ball. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm still in the moment, dude. Like, I'll probably wake up in the morning and be like, holy shit, Saquon Barkley did what last night?
I know, honestly, dude. Dude, like, it's going to be buzzing all night. JAKIB Nation, the nation that never sleeps. I mean, this poor Zander, poor guy. It's 2 in the morning in your time. You got to edit videos.
John and Phil cry about the late nights. I'm like, dude, we're talking sports for crying out loud. You guys need to get a grip.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because like you, I got to edit shit too. And I'm like, it's fucking 2 in the morning over here. And I'm, just watching you. I'm like, this dude is running a whole damn company at 2 in the morning and he's got to edit all this shit. So I'm like, I'm not going to complain, dude. But like, you're a grinder, dude. Salute to you, man. But you know what? Yeah, dude, no doubt. You guys do great work. But Philly, man, it's a special. This is looking to be like a really, really special run.
Yeah, I agree. It certainly feels that way. But you know what I will say is the one area of concern on my mind right now, and I've asked everybody about him. You lose Brandon Graham, and I think he's a big loss. But my mind more goes to this is the time in the year when the war of attrition really starts because you're late in the year, games are mattering more, seeding, all these things. Eagles are thin at that edge rusher position, man. I just hope that the injury bug doesn't hit this team at the wrong time and they can stay healthy. Because if they stay healthy, I'm with you, man. It just I don't know for sure yet, but it feels right now like one of those special seasons for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. And honestly, I don't know who's available in free agency right now. Probably Gregory or Frank Clark or something like that. Maybe for a playoff one. Nothing special. Yeah. Nothing special out there. Honestly, I wish Howie actually traded for like another running back or something like that in the before the trade deadline. I actually would have welcomed Miles Sanders to come back from Carolina. I thought that would have been a nice backup plan just to have him, just to spell Barkley every now and then. Because you saw he ran one play and he got sandwiched, and I was like, oh shit, there goes the fucking season. This dude's out for, and then he came back the next play. But like, the war of attrition, like you said, is important here. But again, listen, you kind of got to roll with the guys that you got. They trust the roster. They trust who's there. And if Vic Fangio's been doing good work all year, right now you got to place your faith in him and see what he can do. But, we'll have to see. Milton Williams is going to get a bag. That's basically what this means.
I know.
This offseason, he's going to get a fat stack.
You think they're going to get it? You think he's going to get it in Philly?
Dude, I don't know, because Jordan Davis also is out there too. And I don't know what Howie's going to think.
My worry with Jordan Davis is we all know that I think Milton is probably the more valuable player, but you just don't know if Eagles will think that. I mean, Howie
might say, because they drafted him. They drafted him in the first round. He was a 13th pick.
Milton was what, a third rounder? Milton was a third round?
Well, Nolan was the end of the first. I think Milton was a third round pick, right? Third, fourth round pick, right? So, honestly, I would sign Milton and, JD let him, either test the market or you franchise him or something. I don't know what you would do with JD, but I would sign Milton over him.
I think it'll be.
I mean, just because, like you said, he could play edge, he could play inside. He's
he gets pressure, man. He gets up to he's a force. He's really, and he's kind of growing into that NFL body now. I think that's why he's starting to come in. Sometimes young players need to have a chance to grow into that. All right, brother, your final takes on this game, man. The 7 straight. I know you think it's going to be a special season. We'll see how it plays out. But any other final takeaways from this game?
We're on to Baltimore. That's it.
Think they win that game?
I think we can win that game. Their defense isn't very good. That defense isn't very good. And honestly, Lamar can be had in terms of if you make him throw the ball.
I agree.
He can be had.
Yeah, he doesn't scare me too much. I mean, look, they have 4 losses this year, and you look at their schedule. I mean, if I just look real quick at who they've lost to, it's not. It hasn't been. It hasn't. They're 7-4, and they really shouldn't be 7-4.
No, they lost to KC.
They lost to the Browns.
The Browns, Vegas, KC,
the Steelers. Remember, did they lose to Vegas?
Yeah, they lost to Vegas.
They lost to the Raiders. Yeah,
they lost to Vegas in week 2,
and they lost to the Chiefs.
Yeah, so like the Ravens can be had, and it's not like they're really an overwhelming force when Derrick Henry's getting the ball. But if you got a lead on them, he gets taken out of the game. They don't even put him in. They put Justice Hill in, and then you just throw the ball all game. And at that point, I'll take my shot with that with Baltimore. You know what I mean? So we'll see, man.
We'll see how it goes. All right, brother. Great having you on, man. I appreciate you doing it. Good stuff. I'll talk to you again soon. All right.
All right, man. Take care. Rest well.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Good stuff, man, from everybody on the JAKIB Postgame Show tonight. That was the last one, and I appreciate everybody checking in, everybody and their contributions. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I'll take a couple more comments before I get the hell out of here. I'm pretty jacked up. I'll tell you what, though, it's a weird spot to be in because as excited as I am right now and as pumped as I am about Saquon, I'm feeling this war of attrition thing a little bit. I know BG's 36, but the amount of snaps he was getting and the impact he was having in those snaps was tremendous. And now he's gone. Assuming Sweat's fine, let's just assume that for a second. I think he will be, but remember what happened with Sweat last year when he got this many reps. He fell off a cliff a little bit. Josh had that crazy injury way back in the day. He had that crazy injury to his knee, which was almost career-ending. And I think you got to manage that. And you have Nolan Smith. I guess he's going to have a bigger role. Jalix Hunt. I mean, who else? Who else are they going to rotate at the edge? Brian, I said this earlier on the show, man. He looked 26. You're right. He really did. Dude, the one third down that he came around the edge and Stafford didn't even see him, he looked 26 on that play. I don't care who says what. If you strip the names off the jersey and drop me into that game, I'd say that's a brand new edge rusher right there, showing it for the first time. Unbelievable watching that play. That third down play was amazing. But boy, I get a little nervous, man, thinking about this defense. Reed Blankenship's playing a lot. Yeah, I don't. These are good names here. Teron Jackson, maybe. What the hell has he done, Brian? Teron Jackson's done shit. Is he still even on the team? They took him in the late rounds a couple years ago. Is he still on the Eagles? Is he on the practice squad? I guess he's still on the practice squad. That would be my guess? Or is he with the Panthers now? Where is he still with the Eagles? Yeah, he was a 6th-round pick in 21. I don't know if he's still on here. Pacific Northwest loves JAKIB and Zander. Thank you. Appreciate that, D.O. Pacific Northwest. Where the hell are you located? Pacific Northwest. Feel like we lost in a win. Jack, see, I didn't have that feeling, Jack, until now. I'm sitting here. It's 2:11 in the morning, and I'm starting to think, and I'm like, fuck. Hopefully we didn't just take an injury that could impact. Because remember, I think part of my speculation, part of my projection on this team is that thanks, guys. I didn't know that was Seattle. Part of my projection is that the defense is so damn good that you'll be able to, when you can keep any team to that few points, you're going to have a good chance to win every single game you play. And if the defense loses the ability to get after the quarterback, think about tonight's game for a second, everybody. Think about if we didn't have pressure on the edges on Stafford, how different of a game that would have been. Right? There was even Collinsworth said it on the broadcast. He's like, the edges for the Eagles tonight have wrecked this game. And he's right. He's right. Terry, I hope, man. Terry checks in. Terry, good to see you, my friend. He says, yeah, I think we'll be all right. I bet BG comes back next year. I kind of feel that too, Terry. My only worry is how bad is his injury? And is it one of those injuries that's going to linger into next season? And if it does, I don't think he'll come back because he's already got in his mind that he was done this year. If he finished out the season healthy, I'd be like, yeah, he's coming back. He was way too productive this year. They're going to give him $5, $6, $7 million. By the way, he deserves every penny. I would give Brandon Graham whatever the hell he wanted. Really, I would. I think that's a guy that's given his all for this city, for this team, this franchise. And when you're 36 and you're still producing, you remember, look, everybody's talking how much they love BG now in this chat. I was one of few who pushed back on people in the chat who were like, why are we need that roster spot for somebody else. Fuck that roster spot. Brandon Grant deserves that roster spot every day and twice on Sunday. And he can have it for as long as hell he wants it. We don't have a Super Bowl ring without that guy. Remember that. Brandon Graham, a true Philadelphia Eagle legend. A true Philadelphia Eagle legend. I have Twitter loaded up on the other page. Saquon Barkley in his last 2 games. Listen to that, man. Listen to this. 58 touches, 500 total yards, and 4 touchdowns. 500 yards in 2 games. Stop playing with frickin' Saquon Barkley, man. Best back in the league, man. Best back in the league. I think he's the best player in the Eagles right now. I really do. All right, man, I got to run. Mad Bird, if you're going to rewatch any of the post-game show, watch the first segment. I was going at John and Sills. They started taking personal shots at me. John's like, you're kissing up to the fan base. I'm like, I'm not kissing up to anybody. I don't give a shit who likes me. I'm not kissing up to anybody. I know what I just watched with my own 2 eyes. Saquon Barkley, a beast, man. A beast. A beast. Mad Bird, that's pretty, by the way, Mad Bird, Brian Fleming, guys who were at the game tonight, you guys got to witness a dope game, man. A dope game. You watch Saquon Barkley make history in a way. Eagles history, that's for sure. Pretty cool. Pretty cool that you were at that game, man, to see. All right, everybody, that's going to do it, man. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We're about 5 hours and 45 minutes. 5 hours and 45 minutes on the dot as it switches to 2:15 from Birds 365, which will be here. Birds 365 in the morning. I cannot wait. Johnny Mack was upset with me tonight. I cannot wait for Birds 365. And the best part is I might, Jeff Kerr, we'll probably have Jeff on. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll have Jeff on. Jeff is normally like, he agrees with John a lot, right? I might even have fucking Jeff on my side tomorrow when I'm talking about Saquon Barkley because Jeff Kerr's a Penn State honk. So he loves Saquon for that reason. But that will be interesting to see. If I get Jeff Kerr to side with me and not McMullen, That'll be a first. Jeff Curl is Team McMullen mostly. So, all right, everybody, that's going to do it. Good show. I appreciate each and every one of you. Kakoa, I love that name, man. I love when you're in the chat because I don't know if I say it right, but Kakoa Kaiawawa. How did I do? Kakoa Kaiawawa. I think I honestly think I got it pretty good. Kakoa Kaiawawa. That's what I'm reading. That's what I'm reading. You let me know if I did it. You let me know if I did a good job. BQM says Zander's a real one. Saquon is special, and MVP. Stand on business. I will, man. I'll do my best. I will do my best. Wawa. Panthers picked up. I was going to say, I thought he was with the Panthers for a little bit and then cut him. Eagles added him to the practice squad. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe they'll elevate him. Danny, salute, brother. Today was a treat for your birthday. Mad Burr, that's dope, man. What a great birthday gift. Kevin, you're hilarious. You always have funny comments. 3 beers in, you might be able to pronounce it. Why, you don't think I did a good job, Savard? Come on, Kevin. I better keep it down here. People sleeping in this house. Fuck them. Birds won big. Kiss the ring. Good stuff. All right, everybody. That's going to do it. Thank you all. I was waiting to see if Kakoa responded to me saying his name. I mean, that's a tough name to say. Is he still in here? Is he still listening? Is he not up to the live feed? Philadelphia, I thought you were going to join the show. You were commenting earlier you were going to join the show, and then you were a no-show. Promoting yourself in the chat this week, and you got mad at me because I gave you a little jab, brother. You got to be able to take a jab in the chat, Philadelphia. All right, I got to go, man. I'm not getting delusional with you guys again, as I do every single week. What do we have? Still 600 on here on YouTube? Holy shit. Yes. Fleming, I think he is. Fleming, he must be after that game, dude. And they got he actually recruited Britton Covey, Brian, to go home with him. And he's under the mattress pushing it up. What do they isn't that what they do? They get somebody to shake the bed or whatever the hell it is. Oh my God. All love, man. I hope there's nobody in the chat that's a Mormon that's mad at me, man. I love you all, man. I don't care what religion, what God you pray to, any of that. I love all my Eagle fans. I love anybody that supports JAKIB Nation. I don't care about any of the other stuff. So I appreciate it, man. I was still no Kakoa. Kakoa's gone. The Quakers. All right. Good, Philadelphia. Good to know, man. I don't know, because you were crying a little bit in the chat. You were crying a little bit in the chat, dude. So you said you weren't mad. You were crying a little bit in the chat. All right, man. Birds 365. 5 hours and 41 minutes. We'll be back live on JAKIB Sports. Looking forward to doing that. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. That's going to do it on the JAKIB Postgame Show. I will catch you all in the morning on Birds 365 and next week. A big Sunday matchup, Eagles versus Ravens. See how that one plays out. Good to do the show tonight with everybody. Hit that like button on your way out. I appreciate that. See you next time, everybody.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The following is a real testimonial from the father of a young injured victim.
I didn't think she was going to make it.
Major Perry's daughter was the victim of a horrific accident caused by someone else's negligence.
If you don't find the right counselor, law firm that you're looking for, you will get lost in the wilderness.
Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Bianculli Law Firm at 215-458-2222 and find out why they say, "We got this."
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
We noticed that there was mold creeping into our basement about a year and a half ago, and wanted to make sure that we were getting rid of the problem permanently. We actually reached out to several different contractors to get it resolved, and actually 2 of them recommended DryTech to us as a long-term solution. Other than the noise factor, we wouldn't even know that there was work being done on the basement level. It's really been a clean process for us.
Score and save this football season on your car insurance. Before the next game, save up to 40% on your auto insurance policy. That's right, 40% savings. Call an Audible this season and contact the Del Val Insurance Group. They're an advocate for you, not an insurance company. That means they'll get you the right coverage and save you up to 40%. Call managing partners Fran or Jim of Del Val Insurance, 215-354-0122, or score and save at dvigi.com. dvigi.com.
EAGLES. Eagles.